Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Think we got everybody rolling? Okay. Let's get... Okay, let me let people know that I am live. Okay. Alrighty, I think we got everybody. Let people know that I'm live. Hey, LeMay, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, alrighty. I've posted on the Twitter. I've posted on, let me post on Blue Sky. Let people on Blue Sky know I'm live. I get some people from there. I know I posted this super early. 1 second. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna grab a water bottle real quick. Let me just post that I am live. Okay. Return to your job? Did I have to wait 3 weeks for your first paycheck? Hey, it's better than nothing, LeMay. Oh, we've got a number of people coming through. Alrighty. Alright, let me grab a water bottle and then we'll get rolling. Hello, hello, hey, hello Nabiru, hello forever. You're all going to be talking to Hatty in just a second. Once I come off of mute. Hello, welcome in everybody. Tonight we have a special stream. We're keeping it rolling with the GITR content because you all seem to be enjoying it and I'm enjoying making it. We are going to be doing a stream with making another character. This one's going to be based on Liger Zero. And we will see how we translate that into the GITR system. So come along as we figure all of that out. So let's adventure together, everybody. Alrighty. There's a Hatty here. Let me unmute. Hello, Hatty, are you there?
I am here, yes. Watashi wa kita. Yeah.
I keep remembering, huh?
Keep remembering what now?
Oh, whenever you said I am here, I remember Kamen Rider Den-O, what's his name, would say, Ore, Sanju. Every time he entered it. Every time we walked into
the most I am versed in the Kamen Rider is everything that Kane spews, and the one movie that consolidated the entirety of the first iteration of Kamen Rider. It was more modern. Shin Kamen Rider, something like that.
Kamen Rider Shin, yeah.
Yeah. I will say, definitely was, I could tell, a consolidated version of a season, or actually multiple episodes, but I thought they did good.
Mm-hmm.
They did good for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated it as a non-fan.
Mm-hmm. Kamen Rider is one of those things that, like, it can be a bit hectic to get into.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
cool.
It's really funny. All of this with the GITR stuff started because GITR was made by someone who goes by V, who is the husband of Husbando Homebrew, a part of the YouTube channel My Wife is the MC. And they were the ones who he's the one who authored this original GITR system. I've made some tweaks and some changes and some things as I saw fit as I've been fine-tuning things for this game, but he's the original author. And I found this through I saw a YouTube video about a Kamen Rider thing in D&D, and then in the end of the video, it was about translating one of the Kamen Rider characters from Kamen Rider Double into D&D, and then in the end of the video, he was like, well, if you also want to check out our other stuff, you can see where I have mechs in D&D, and I was like, ears perk up, neuron activation, what?
Damn, it was meant to be. What the heck?
And so
noise.
And so I found them like, oh, there's a video. So I watched the video and I was like, this is amazing. This is great. Hey, Jesus. And so I watched that video like multiple times. I got the thing because they had where you can get it for free. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. I want to do stuff about this. And then I was like, hey, Nevermore, good to see you. You're older now. Did you have a birthday, Jesus? And so I was like, what even do I do with this? This seems so cool. And so I left the comment on the video, and I left a reply on the tweet announcement of the video on their Twitter being like, hey, I really like this. Can I share this with my stream? Can I do content on this? Because I mean, technically it's homebrew. So like I technically could just do anything with it. But I still wanted to like get their permission before I started like covering stuff on it or reviewing.
That's fair. Yeah. I've learned in the indie D&D space, I tend to frequently test stuff for Bag of Mapping now because I found them randomly. Yeah, just for fun. But yeah, no, just yes, please use our things in your streams and stuff.
Yeah. And so I was like, I just let the person know, and then they got back to me, and he was like, yeah, that's great, sure, awesome. And then we started talking, and then like he's like, if you have any questions, you can message me on Twitter or Ko-fi. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I could like send questions instead of just leaving really long tweets, and instead of leaving really long tweets or really long comments on the video, right? And then
that's much better.
Yeah. When I had questions about stuff. And at first I was like, oh, it's not letting me send a message on X. And Ko-fi, you have to like, in order to send a message, you have to like do a donation. I was like, what in the world? And I guess they had like their messages locked because they didn't want to get like spammed and stuff. So like
that makes sense.
So they opened the messages, so like they sent me a message and initiated a conversation. And I was talking to him. And I've been bouncing ideas back and forth. It's been really interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah. Alrighty. But
Creatives.
yes, it is great. And I told them, I'm like, I'm totally not just like getting more attention to this because I want you to make those warship
rules. Warship.
Yeah, he said
Ooh.
In the end of the video that he announced the GITR system. If the GITR system got enough attention, if enough people were interested, if enough people were leaving comments on the video, if there were enough people expressing an interest in it, he was going to work on creating custom rules for making warships in the GITR system, and make some special NPC stat blocks, like NPC and like enemy stat blocks that were like pre-built for the GITR system instead of just translating existing ones. So you would have ones for like, this is this, this is this, this is this, for like creating encounters and stuff.
Nice.
And he said he's chipping away at it. And I'm like, all right, I don't want to be too forward, too buggy. Hello, gaming driver. GITR, get.
Yo, what's up?
Friend
of mine, yes. Actually, gosh. Speaking of Common Writer from earlier, ooh, when you see what Gabe is cooking, you're not ready.
Oh goodness.
But you know, go ahead and you do the honors.
Let me just move stuff over here. GITR, or Get in the Robot, is a homebrew developed by V from the YouTube channel. My wife is the MC, which I have no affiliation with whatsoever. That is a custom, I guess, hack of D&D 5e to add mechs to D&D. In a way that is relatively simple and unobtrusive, and it's a very interesting thing because it is very, how I like to say, it is setting agnostic. It is not tied to any one particular setting for the system, so you could create whatever setting that you want. And what I like about it is that it has different levels of complexity, where depending on your table and what your table is comfortable with and how well you know 5e and and what you're looking for, you can adjust, because there's the base rules. Because if you just do the base rules, no optional rules, it runs very much just like D&D 5e, right? Except there's some flavor, there's some modifications, and there's some tweaks, and there's a whole bunch of new weapons, right? And there's all these optional rules of different levels of complexity that you can choose what you want to add, what you don't want to add. I'm personally throwing all the complexity stuff at the window. I'm adding an extra level of complexity because I really love it. I think that my friends can handle it. And I want to stress test this. And Gao Geigar, Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not sure how well GITR would work in it because it is mostly it's primarily based on Armored Core, so it's mostly like a real robot-esque design. But I think with like you could do some stuff with GITR as I mean it's big enough. I don't know. That'd be interesting building GITR. I guess that would.
It's a challenge enough trying to build a Liger.
Yeah. I guess you could build GITR as like a barbarian. Yeah, that could probably work. An Iron Kong, yes, Jesus, yes, exactly, Jesus. So we are.
Oh yeah, no, Iron Kong would make sense. Like I was looking at because you've already looked through some of the systems with Sylvan in the past also. But like the arms, having the big strength arms and just giving them a club, that would make sense. Just punch them. Hit them.
A link for GITR. There should be. Let me make sure I have it in.
It'll be challenging for people to hit me, probably.
Yes. They have. In the description of the YouTube video, there's a link to their YouTube video where they announced where he like first displayed GITR, and there's a link in the description of that video. And there is oh, thank you for the follow, Gaming Driver. Yes, there is a link in the description of my video to their Ko-fi store. You can either pay for it if you want to support. My wife is the MC and help them. I get nothing for advertising for them, but if you want to like do that to help them out, you can. But they have a link in their Ko-fi store on the Ko-fi page where you can just download the PDF for free. If you want to just get the PDF for free, there's a link to that in the description on YouTube. So, but yes, it is.
I realize I should probably send you my gosh damn Google Doc.
Oh.
Because my life's mission is to always have things on Google.
Live and die by the Google Doc. Also.
But yeah, I'm organizing my thoughts from said Google Doc to this sheet of character.
Okay. One thing, if you're watching on YouTube, I do ask that you like the stream. If you haven't liked the stream already, it helps the algorithm with pushing it out to more people, and it helps getting my content in front of more eyeballs, and I really appreciate it. It's really funny. I've noticed like this marked growth in my viewership ever since I started asking for likes midstream. It's really funny.
I used to do that all the time. I remember watching like talk shows where like, hey, there's like 100-something review. Obviously they're bigger, but even then they're like, where are all the likes on this video? And it does get engagement up because you're like calling them out.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, they're talking to me. Oof.
Yeah, and also getting engagement up midstream helps them with YouTube doing recommendations and stuff as the stream is running, which gets more people. I'm
not as versed in YouTube. I'm always on the Twitch side of things, but that does make sense.
Yeah, I was on Twitch for a while, and I felt like kind of burnt out a little bit on Twitch. I was getting very little viewership. I wasn't getting much growth, and it was always a pain in the butt to download the VODs from Twitch and upload them to YouTube. It was before YouTube and Twitch you could just like connect them automatically like you can now. And it was just, it was just kind of soul crushing to like finish this long stream that I kind of poured my heart into and see I had like 0 viewers. And I was like, what was I doing wrong? So I moved over to YouTube, and then I saw a lot more growth on YouTube. So now I do both. Alrighty. Oh, somebody.
What's that?
I heard a noise.
I heard a noise too, because I was pressing a button. Weapon proficiency. Interesting.
All right.
I have 0 understanding.
All right, we will delve right into it. So one thing I want to say to Gaming Driver VT, Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Star Hunters, where we shoot through the stars, have wonderful adventures, live our dreams, and always stop to enjoy the memes. I hope you enjoy your stay here. It is great having you as a follower. Yes, Jesus, weapons proficiency, these hands.
So, getting it out of the way, for those curious, how the hell am I making a Liger 0 in this? You take the weapons that exist, and you make them make sense.
Yes.
You don't have... It's like there's some things that, you know, I'm never going to be able to be disarmed, or at the very least, whether rather than being disarmed, a Zoid would more likely be, oh, that limb is inoperational now, or something like that. But, like, Liger 0 uses claws. What are claws? But swords coming out of your hands, like Wolverine. So, that made sense. That's fine. Shoulder is the difficult one, where I'm taking more liberties, where, say on base Liger 0, there's 2 shoulder weapons, but one of them is actually technically on the chest. It's that, you know what, I should have pulled up the site that I've been using, because there's an actual, like, Zoid database.
Yes.
That goes into extreme detail on every single weapon and, mod choice on everything. But you know, so base Liger has whatever cannons are on his chest, and then
the
his
shock
tail.
Cannons.
Yeah, the shock cannon on his chest, and then he has his tail has a weapon, which is hardly ever used in anime, but
it is a weapon.
Looks at the time Elephander ripped off the gun off a Liger. You sure? Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's been a while since I've seen the anime, but it's like my childhood favorite. Like, y'all have your Kamen Riders and your Gundams and your... for me, it was literally just Zoids, New Century, and that's it. That's my mecha childhood.
So, okay, I don't know if I've told you this story. Yes, Zoids is great. I love Zoids too. I currently have 2 Lancer campaigns where I made an entire faction of characters Zoids. So, like... I get the Zoids love. When I was a kid, I used to wake up. I don't know when Zoids aired where you were growing up, but when I was growing up, it would air at 6 a.m. on Cartoon Network, the new episodes. So I would get up and get dressed and watch Zoids at 6 a.m. before I went to school. And we were just getting the internet. We were like, my parents had dial-up, and then and I could only really go on the internet at night after my parents went to sleep, because, you know, it would lock up the phone line and all that stuff, right? So my, like, magical moment with Zoids was, like, I was exploring the internet, and I was just getting into fan fiction, right? And I found this one on this site I'd never been to before, and it was, like, layered out like a script, and I was like, this is really weird. There's no bit cloud. There's no Liger 0. What am I reading? And I didn't really understand it, but I was enthralled by it. I read the entire thing. And I was like, that's interesting. Then the next morning, and I do mean literally the next morning, I get up to watch Zoids, and it's not Liger, it's not Zoids New Century 0. Because they were, like, doing reruns of that. It was the first episode of Zoid's Chaotic Century.
Oh. Yeah.
And I realized the script I had read the night before was a leaked script of the first episode of Zoid's Chaotic Century, and I was watching the first airing of the dub of Zoid's Chaotic Century.
Oh, snap. That's really interesting, actually.
Damn. And I finally had images to put with the words I had read the night before. And it was this magical moment for me. It was this magical moment for me. But yeah. So, anyway, with GITR, there are some things, and one thing I definitely want to do is, like, there is a wide, like, width and breadth of different weapons, and I think there's places. One of the things I like about 5e is how customizable it is. and you can tweak things around as you see fit. So then if we have to come up with custom things and we just crowbar this here, crowbar that there, I'm very comfortable with doing that with 5e. And I think that being able to do that with 5e is one of the things I really like about it.
Oh, I can agree with that. Like, it's definitely an easy system to get into, compared to other systems, surely.
Yeah.
As well. I have a bias towards Pathfinder First Edition, but that's a lot. Like, that has so much in it.
Yes. And but yes, I'm glad I see where you said you love Zoid's gaming driver. It is fun. Somebody said Liger Zero is the perfect 5th player for a 4e game. That's funny. To keep all its show skills, imagine you would have to spend like 3 actions: 1 to remove armor, 1 to summon the new, 1 to put new ones on. That'd be the.
Yeah, that's part of what we're trying to figure out today, because this is what we're figuring out is rules are going to be breaking or bent in favor of this character making sense.
Yes.
But that's fine.
Yes, that is fine. I am curious, did you read the lore document I put together on the world at all?
I did, yes.
Okay. It's funny. When I was talking to Silva about it, Silva's like, I've read nothing. And I'm like, oh.
That makes sense. The reading of things is a inherent thing that needs to happen in D&D for everyone to be on the same page. Totally not bitter.
Oh no.
I don't know if I agree with 5e being an easy game, but I will not do my FE. I won't say it's easy. Like, there's definitely complications to some of the rules, but it is one of the easier systems. Like, if you stare at Pathfinder First Edition, if you go onto Archives of Nethys for just First Edition alone, there is so much stuff. Too much.
I think one of the things. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, continue.
I think one of the things about D&D 5e that is a kind of a love it or hate it thing is it is very simplistic in a lot of its descriptions, in the way that it is supposed to encourage players to improv and to fill in the gaps with, like, okay, there's not a rule for this, so what do we want to do to make it work for our table? And for people who really enjoy improving and have a lot of experience and confidence improving, it's like, yeah, that's great. I don't have to fight with rules. I could just do the thing, and we can say that it works this way because that's what works for us.
But then there are rules lawyers.
Yes. Then you have the people who really want there to be rules to define something, and there's just not rules for a lot of stuff there. And like I was watching this video the other day where someone was talking about an interview with Brendan Lee Mulligan, where he was talking about how people were saying that it was a bad idea for him to use 5e for his narrative-based campaign. And he said, when he looks at a game system like 5e has a lot of rules for combat, which is great because combat's the part that least interests him. So he doesn't want to have to think about how to adjudicate what happens in combat. It's just, okay, here's the rule, this means this, and then we just simplify and move to the combat. But there's not a lot of rules for role play, and that's the part that really excites him, so he can create whatever systems and mechanics he wants for the role play that suits his table and his story without having to fight with any pre-existing rules or expectations. And I saw a lot of people in the comments were like, that works great for him and for his group because they're professional improv people.
Yeah, and it's exactly why, like, Critical Role, they transferred from, but one of the many reasons they transferred from Pathfinder First Edition to Dungeons & Dragons was that, or 5e, was that versatility. Because, like, the whole reason that a gunslinger was developed in 5e was because of Critical Role trying to bring over the gunslinger from Pathfinder for one of their characters.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough versatility with D&D 5e for that kind of translation to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, that's more improv. Those are professional voice actors that are just having fun with characters that they are portraying.
And but one of the things people were saying in the comments was that, like, of that video that I saw the other day, was that while that works for the professional improv people and the experienced people who are like, yes, we love being able to make the things do what we want, for a lot of people, like for your average table, it can help to have rules to work with. And like you're mentioning, Jesus, where it helps if you have multiple rules, like here are some suggested rules that you can use in order to give guidelines and things for people to use. And when I was talking about this thing of negative space, like what's it called? Negative space creation, where like you create rules for the things the system isn't about, and let the players create something in the negative space versus the fruitful void, right? And
the fruitful void.
Yeah, so fruitful void is that you create a space where there is no rules in order to encourage the players to create something in that space. But then a negative space is a thing where you don't communicate that that's supposed to be a fruitful void, and the players just see that as an empty space and avoid it. One thing that somebody talked about, that the person in that video talked about, was this game that was like, I haven't heard of before, where it was a survival horror game, and there were no rules about stealth. And when someone asked the creator of the game about it, the creator's like, I intentionally made sure there were no rules about stealth because I didn't want someone to be able to roll a die and succeed at stealth. I wanted them to improv and come up with rules. I wanted it to be a conversation about how they're using stealth, what they're hiding behind, what stealth looks like. You probably did see the same video, Jesus. But like the person was talking about how they wanted for their game to be a thing where they said no rules about stealth because they wanted it to be a thing people came up with on the fly. But then in the comments, someone said, I've played that game. I've played multiple sessions of that game, and we never use stealth because it's not stated that you're supposed to come up with rules about stealth. There's no like explanation. They're like, hey, you're supposed to do this. It's just, there's nothing there. Anyway, we are tangenting.
Wait, that is about the bread and butter of my community. It's tangenting, so that's fine. They're used to that.
Yep. Always remember expectations. That's funny, Naberu. Hey, Noel Main, good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Multi-Star Chick says you're here for the tangents. Oh, well, we're going to have plenty of tangents as we go over all manner of things tonight.
Oh boy, are we.
Yep, we've got to essentially build 3 characters.
Yep.
Also,
it's definitely a challenge here.
What did you think of the thumbnail image I made for the stream?
It was good. You know what? I gotta stare at it again.
I was curious if you recognized the ligers I used for the image.
Let me see. Oh, I have one of them. Hellhound BF ended up. We found it at one random hobby shop where I live, and it's the liger that's part of the Empire, from what I've read. I don't remember it from the actual anime, at least the one that I watched, or at the very least. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
It wasn't in the anime. It's from the battle story.
Got it. The other one I'm not sure of.
So there's Liger Zero X, which is that one. And the other one is very funny. That image is of the prototype of Liger Zero Panzer.
Oh.
I recently watched. So I've been watching through Zoid stuff with Silva on our anime nights, right? And the location we use for watching them is the DVD versions, which is the Japanese video with the English audio where applicable, because some scenes were cut out, so there's only Japanese audio, so it includes the Japanese opening. And in the Japanese opening of New Century Zero, there is this brown liger. And in one of the scenes, as it's flipping through the different scenes, and I'm like, what is that? Because we never saw it throughout the show. So I did some research, and apparently I was not the only person confused. It wasn't in the English opening, so a lot of the English community didn't really see it, but the Japanese community and the people who watched it before it was dubbed were like, what is that? And then it was finally released in a fan book that when they were planning New Century Zero, the original plan was for Panzer to be brown and much more streamlined, but they dropped that for the green bulky look, but by the time they dropped it, they'd already animated the opening with scene for the opening, so it just stayed in the opening for the split-second scene. So I just thought it would be funny to just have that in as kind of a little joke of the thumbnail, because it's the two ligers we're not making. At least not.
And then let it be clear that at some point, I never watched Fusors, but given what exists for utility in this game, I will have the Fusor ones eventually be a thing if we ever build that far into this, because it only seems logical. But yeah, no. Today it's just the pilot, Liger Zero base, and Jaeger, because financially, that's all that can be afforded.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Yeah.
And thematically correct. I'm not going to worry about.
Okay. Let me pop over to this.
I minimize anything.
Okay.
And these items. I don't get it.
I will take a look at what you're looking at in just a second. Okay.
No. There's no button. There's no button for minimizing.
Oh.
Options. Curses. Foiled again.
Curses foiled again. Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Room of flying.
Yeah. So
many.
It was a whole thing where when I was making Silva's character, Silva's like, I want to get the Savior Gundam that Athrin Zala pilots in Gundam Seed. And I'm like, okay, cool, we can make that work. I'm thinking, okay, it's got a beam saber, it's got a beam rifle, might have head Vulcans, standard mobile suit, not gonna really have a whole bunch of stuff. We're partway through building, and he's like, I want it to be able to transform like the Savior Gundam. And I'm like, the Savior Gundam transforms? and he's like, yeah, it has a flight mode. So I was like, oh, well, I probably should have done my research. How am I going to do that? Because the flight legs are way too expensive. Oh, did I lose you there for a second, Hatty?
Yeah, I was losing you too. All right, we're good.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard?
Vulcan.
Okay. Hello, DJ Clark Productions. It's going great. We have a guest star tonight. We're doing some character creation here with Hatty. So I'm thinking it's just going to be a regular Gundam, right? Pretty standard Gundam, maybe some high performance. The character is good with like close range and melee. It's like a mid-range combatant. And then we're in the middle of stream, and Silva's like, yeah, I just want it to be a very high mobility transformable mobile suit. And I'm like, it transforms? And he's like, yeah, it has a flight mode. And I'm like, oh, okay. How do? I was like, okay, let's look at really low-end uncommon magic items. Uncommon magic items are normally valued at 300 gold pieces. You're starting with essentially 250. So I was like, okay, you know, we're just going to say you can start with a broom of flying instead of spending the starting gold on getting the starting credits on getting additional stuff, right? And I kind of reworked it and tweaked it a little bit on Silva's character sheet. Let me show you. Let me add it. Oh.
I'm looking.
You should see Save Your Gundam pop up as one of the player mechs. Should be a thing that appeared. But I just
For the record, I am new to Roll20, so this is all
okay.
fresh. Where am I looking?
On the top right where there is a book. You see where it's
there it is. Yes, save. Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
Oh. Red. Okay.
And I kind of for this I kind of combined the whatchamacallit, the bat of the cloak of the bat and the broom of flying, and just said it's a thing where speak a command word, becomes flying, but loses use of hands. So can't use shield or handheld weapons, can only use the shoulder-mounted beam cannon.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then gains a flying speed. So, and obviously without hands, can't hold things. So, all of that stuff. So that was, if you look at how I built, did you get a chance to look at the VOD of my stream with Silva?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
This past weekend was, I won't go into it because it's technically advertising for another streamer, but it was an emotional weekend for my usual circle of streamers.
Okay. All right.
I watched nothing.
Okay. All right. All right. So there is in Roll20, there is a thing where you can use a character mancer creator where if you've paid for or the GM has paid for certain books, you can just import certain features. But what I like about Roll20 is that you can just manually add anything by copying and pasting stuff from like the wiki.
Notice that. It is nice. Nothing is automated in that case, but it is nice.
Yeah.
Just everything there in one place.
Yeah. Now you do have the SRD, so you do have access to the compendium of some basic things, like a lot of non-magical things or very low-level magic things, from the SRD, and it also has an interesting number of NPCs and enemies that are in the SRD that I have access to play with that I can modify, which is how I made this command wolf over here is just a guard NPC. Let me show you.
Finally figure that out. There we go. Oh, hello, town guard.
Yeah.
Local guard, piloting mass-produced machine and your best.
Yeah, I just edited a guard NPC.
You know what's interesting? Every time you pop something up like that, on my end, I only see the image of the dude and a little description. I don't see the stats and stuff.
Oh, it doesn't show you the character sheet?
That is probably on purpose.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
keeps the mystery.
Yeah, he mostly just has I just gave him a beam spear, so he has arranged in a throne. He has the electron bite fangs, which is just the beam spear's melee thing of the 1d6, and anti-mech blasters, which is essentially the thrown version of the spear, which just has the 200 feet, 600 feet. And that's the big thing with the mechs, is the tenfold rule, which is what makes it a mech. But yes. So it just has the bio, doesn't show you the character sheet. Okay. All right. I didn't change the actual like image because it's just a town guard. But yeah. So let's get this party started. Mitloud.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at what you built so far. All right, and I said max HP for the first 3 levels.
Yep. I figured out that. I'm happy with my character's stats.
Uh-huh.
So it's what is it? It's 10 plus 3. No. Yes, 10 plus 3, because my constitution is plus 1.
Yes.
Or 10 times 3.
Plus 3.
Plus 3.
Yes.
So yes, 33.
Yes.
What I got is what I'm happy with.
Yep.
Eventually, in the future, I'll have to put more into Constitution, but this was, with what I've got going on with Base Liger and Jaeger, these were the stats that were needed.
Okay. All right. Oh, did you get like? Looks like you got some item packs or something, or you put some.
Yeah, I'm mostly just filling stuff in for now. So like the staff hunting trap trophy of animal killed, those will probably get replaced by something else name wise, but that's what I get from the Outlander background. So
okay.
Those are just there to be there.
Okay.
For now.
And one thing that is really cool about Roll20 is if you have an item, if you when you go to click on an item, you see that little eye icon over by the weight when you hover.
Yeah.
You can have a thing like the handgun.
Oh wait, has an attack. Oh, there we go.
And it creates an attack that you can then go up here and you can edit it.
Ah, neat.
Yeah, I found that out the other day.
I technically don't need to do that twice, so I'll just have the one. I have for the class, just for chat's sake, it is Fighter Eldritch Knight, for multiple reasons, and actually thematically, probably the Eldritch Knight name will change. But access to spells gives some flavorful niche things, like Schneider technically has a temporary shield that it can pop up. But this being D&D, I'm just going to say that I have shield that ability on all the Ligers. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, pick and choosing some things there. Handgun. Where are you?
Mm-hmm. What armor did you pick?
I picked the ceramic plated. So your
which one's that?
Your Hyatt. Where am I?
Ceramic.
I went too far.
Ceramic plated is.
There it is. 450 credits, 13 pounds.
13 pounds. Yeah, I was just trying to see which one is it supposed to be. Replica.
It's a studded leather.
Studded leather. Okay. So.
Yeah. So it would be 12 plus dex, which is 12 plus 3, 13 or 15.
Yeah. Let me show you. You can actually grab in the right next to the journal. There should be a thing with library. That's the compendium with the books. If you type in studded leather, it'll pop up studded leather, and you can drag it onto your character sheet, which has all of the traits of studded leather, and you can just rename it.
Oh, neat. All right. Wait, let me.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's in the SRD.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And then you can just rename it.
Very nice.
And if an item gives you a specific resource to track, you look over here on the right where it says short rest, long rest, and below that, you could be like, if you want to track your second wins, or if you want to track or if you have a certain number of charges on a staff or something, you can put it as a resource, and it'll create a resource over here for you to keep track of. If you look on the right,
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you get something with multiple stuff,
because I definitely have second wind.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just put that in right now while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Nabaru says that they think your character's name sounds like a 4Kids dub name.
Well, you're not far off. The main character of New Century is BitCloud, so this is me being lazy.
Goodness gravy.
I pressed a button. That's fine.
You pressed the button? Did the button do what you wanted it to do?
No.
All right.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Do weapon fighting.
Yeah, 4Kids will often just remove a letter. That's why Nabaru says it sounds like instead of BitCloud, it's MitLoud. Like they didn't want to translate BitCloud, so they just made it Mit. So they just changed one letter.
Action. But yes. I've been lazier with my names. I'm going to be honest. This is one of my favorite characters ever, but for Pathfinder 2nd edition, when back in Cali, me and my friends were testing it out, I made a ranger character because I wanted to try it out, and it was getting around the time where I need to come up with a name, so I just wrote Noname, no name, the Hunter. So their name was literally just no name, and when my DM questioned me, I came up on the spot. No nami to Hunter, right? Come to hunt to Hundun, and like went on from there. So like some of the dumbest name decisions I've ever made came up with like some of my favorite character concepts. And yes, this is also technically a reference to Craven the Hunter, because that's the Craven the Hunter accent.
Okay.
Come to hunt a Hundun.
Hundun, okay.
I forgot what creature that was. It's like a giant. It's not a gnoll. It's like a giant hyena.
Okay.
Creature.
Hey, Kalora.
Hello.
Hello, welcome in. We're doing more character creation. All right, so you are doing an Eldritch Knight. So, you can. Are you getting the hang of putting the stuff in?
Yeah, I'm at least just copy pasting things so that they're here. I don't know about making sure that they're activatable yet. I'm going to save that for a future problem.
I don't think it's a thing. I don't think the features are thing as you really activate. You can press the speech bubble on it in order to make it pop up in the chat as a reminder to be like, hey, I'm using this ability like I just did for your action surge.
Oh, cool.
So if you're activating something in the middle of a session, you can just go boop, press that button, and it pops up in the chat. I'm planning for the game to have, like I did last time I did Roll20 stuff, have the like two windows. One is going to be just the map, and the other one is going to be where the whatchamacallit dice rolls in the chat's going to be. Like this chat window on the side is going to be one of the things I'm going to display.
Spells. Oh. Hey, I did a thing. Alright. Booming Blade.
Now for fun area scan. Battlefield set. The MitLoud team versus the Noname's team. Battle mode 420 ready fight. Oh my gosh, Nabiru.
Naviru. Never change. I'm not going to do the particulars of the spells right now. I'm just going to make sure they're there.
Okay.
What did I have in mind? Sword Burst.
Mm-hmm.
They're good, but also thematic.
Mm-hmm.
And then level 1 spells was just going to be because that's the tricky bit with Eldritch Knight is very limited on what spells they can learn.
Yes.
But they're all the spells that are important for Marshall anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I still have to decide on one more, but I'm going to put Magic Missile for now because that is an option. I might change
Big
my
burning
mind
bang attack.
Oh, there we go. Hey. Abjuration. That's not abjuration. That is conjuration. Yes.
And how many slots do you have?
I have 2. I'm assuming. Oh, yep. Their slots total 2. No slots.
How do you edit? I know there's a way to. Oh, there. You can do slots remaining. Why is slots total?
I
haven't done magic characters. This was kind of an experiment. Let me see. I'm gonna try opening the settings of the page and see if it helps.
Oh yeah, that might be.
Here goes.
Oh, I might have found it.
You might have found it?
Might have found it.
Alright. Hey, hello, Violet. Good to see you.
I found it.
You found it? Nice.
Yeah, there was an area for just like, oh, I have this many of this slot.
Yep. We're doing character creation. So, alrighty. So you've got the base.
Do I have everything I wanted so far? Like, I haven't decided on everything in regards to pilot equipment, but I have it all noted how much resources I have left, and I also haven't added how many cartridges for the handguns I have left. I don't particularly care for now, so we can move on to Tiger, I think. Let me just double check. I got my...
Do you have all your abilities down?
Executor of War. I renamed Warcaster.
Okay.
Executor of War.
Alright. I noticed you made a variant human, which is kind of funny.
Yep. They're the best one.
It's funny. So, like, I have been running and playing in Lancer for, like, the last 2+ years, right? And Lancer is a human-only system, right? Everybody's humans.
Oh, right.
And they say you can be whatever. You can get body mods. You can get, you can make your character look like whatever you want, but it doesn't change anything, right? It doesn't give you access to anything. It doesn't do anything different that your regular skills and stuff wouldn't already give you. And one of the things that was enticing to me about coming back to D&D 5e was like, can do the fantasy races. And that was one of the things when I was writing the lore. I don't know if you saw the VOD when I did the lore writing stream. But when I was writing the lore for this world, I took special care to say one of the key points I wanted to hit was to have an explanation for why there are fantasy races in this world.
Oh. Okay.
And then
I did see that, yeah.
And then I look at you and Silva's characters, and you're both variant human.
Well, again, it's the best option.
Yeah. I think
it also thematically made the most sense for mine specifically. I don't know about Silva.
Silva kind of made sense for how Silva's building their character, how Silva's building his character. It'll be interesting. And the third player who you haven't met, Okusen, is talking about possibly being a fae. So like some kind of a fairy, which will be interesting.
Oh. Will they have a smaller mech?
Probably.
Or at the very least, their cockpit doesn't need to be as large.
No, the mech reflects the pilot. So if I believe ferry.
Oh God.
5e race. From Mordenkin presents Monsters of the Multiverse. They are size, yes, small. So if they go with the ferry race, they will have a small mech.
That's funny.
They will have a.
I was already like questioning in the first place. I made sure to look at the size chart thing,
Yeah.
whatever, or not chart, but and also I have another Google Doc where I very specifically was doing Liger Zero research and like, okay, what size are you really? And he just makes it to be within medium. Like any bigger, he would be large. But he's medium. Canonically.
Okay. But yeah, I've been working on some interesting lore stuff, and I can't wait to get to that part of tonight when we talk about lore stuff and backstory stuff with your character and how your character fits in the story. That'll be really fun. But let's get the mechanical stuff rolling.
Yeah, so I will finesse with this more later.
Mm-hmm.
We can move on to the getting the actual mechas involved.
Okay, so let me duplicate.
I have to.
So I made a copy of Mit Loud, and then this one will be Liger Zero
Base.
Yes, base, and
thankfully I'm organized enough that I've noted. Again, I have not specifically gone out of my way to have my finances fund like cartridges and resources because I'm still trying to fine tune everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think I have solidly now what each of the Ligers are doing, what their setup is. I think they've got mostly the same stuff. It's the same armor. It's the same. I somehow had enough funds to get the Mark III of both relevant things.
Okay.
So great there.
Good. Okay, so let me make sure this is in.
I'm just gonna let them both have Night Eye Helm. In the future, Jaeger will get something else that's a little bit more. Because the other thing about them, they're not just the speedy one. They're also the like reconnaissance, like scoping out type. So getting them a helm in the future that's more based on observation and such, that will be fine. But that's a future goal.
Yep. All right. So, do you see Liger Zero base?
I do. I've already clicked it.
You've already clicked it. All right.
And I see that I can adjust it. All right.
Yep. I set it. I set it to where you're in control. So now, let's.
We're gonna delete all the items here.
Yeah. Clear all the items.
Oh, wait, actually, it's this. I remember. Oop.
Yes.
The abilities are all the same basically because it's.
That was the whole point.
Except for. Let me just.
Oh.
Weapon bond, Liger. That'll change.
Yeah. Let's actually talk about that now, real quick.
Yeah. No, we need it. That's important.
So, what I was thinking was
we erased all of this.
Yeah. Instead of having a weapon bond, you have actually let me check, where is it? Because there was a rule for this that I thought would be really relevant here. Weapon require creating magic technology, damage conditions. Where is? I could have swore there was a thing for mecha.
Oh, I'm out of liquid death. Sad.
You're out of liquid death? That sounds very sad.
Eventually, I will get a sponsorship from them. I have a liquid death hat and everything.
Okay.
For normal water. Anyways. If you tell me what page it's on, I will also read it.
There it is. Page 7, Mechanics Hangar.
Oh, yeah, that. Actually, did I get the right proficiency? That is... Machinery is...
You can. I'm saying that it's not a...
I don't necessarily need it. I can have someone do that for me.
I was gonna say it's a thing where I'm not having the skills replace each other technically. Where if you look on the character sheet, on the bottom left, there's tools and proficiencies and custom skills. You can.
Oh, okay.
You can just put the machinery as a custom skill if you get it.
All right.
Let's see. Noel Main said,
I might decide to change mine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This weekend, my RPG group and I met up, and we got cooking a weird campaign. It's kind of like a fantasy, but there's also a lot of tech stuff. We're basically making our own system and setting. It's really strange, but it's quite fun. Oh, that's really cool, Noel Main. All right, we'll see you when you get back, Violet. I have to keep up with chat. That is the streamer way. All right.
Mechanics hangar, dedicated space comprised of heavy equipment, stationary, and can be found in places that service mecha. But you're thinking about making one mobile?
Yes.
I'm guessing? Yes.
Yes. So my thought was, you have a mechanics hangar that's going to be some kind of a transport, right?
Yeah, and they have rules for transports. In this, yes, I remember that somewhere.
But yeah, so you have the stuff.
I think it requires me having a sidekick. I think I'm going. You can come up with that.
Let me see something real quick. Here we go. Medium wheel platform with 3 layers on it, up to 4. Okay.
I'm wondering if it would have to be as big as the damn snail.
Probably.
So I don't think the size. Wait. Well, yeah. No. The sizes of. Where are they? Where are they? I know where they are. You don't have to tell me. The trucks, right?
Yeah.
Small, medium. Yeah, those aren't big enough.
Yeah. So we're going to have a custom thing that is where we're going to be combining the mechanics hangar with your weapon bond and say that you have a special hangar. And I was thinking this could be, I love to let players create things about the world. I love to let players have a hand in the creation of the world. So it could be a thing where like you make like 1 or 2 NPCs that crew your carrier ship, right?
Oh, yeah.
That are operating for you. So then it's the thing where instead of you summoning stuff to you, it's where you move to where like the carrier ship will be somewhere like off of one side of the map or something. So then you get to wherever the carrier ship is situated or wherever it's parked or whatnot, and then you spend an action to initiate whatever mode you want to do, and that ends your turn. And then on your next turn, you pop out and use your movement to leave the carrier and go where you want to go, and then you take the rest of your turn in the new form.
That makes sense. Spend an action to change. I'm simplifying it for this sake, but spend an action to change into a different mode by entering the hangar next turn. what is it? Use movement to get out of the hangar and continue on.
Yeah. So it's just you have to use your movement. So then it's going to be like if you have 300 feet movement, you have to use like you just leave the hangar. Like you know what I mean? You walk out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe later you'll upgrade it to actually get a catapult on it, so you get additional movement. But for now, you actually have to just walk out.
And that different mode in this case, even though it breaks some of the rules here, but it's thematically fun. Changing the body parts, not just like the weapons and such.
Right. It's changing weapons, it's changing equipment, and it's changing body parts. Welcome back, Violet.
From a mechanical standpoint, yes. Although it's an interesting flavor. What am I trying to think? In the show, it's not changing body parts. They're literally just changing different settings
and outer armor.
Different outer armor stuff. So this is just us trying to translate that outer armor stuff.
Right. You're getting the special hydrofoil or whatever downforce wings that let you go faster, and
Zoom.
You're gonna go real fast.
At least as Jaeger, but we gotta get the base first. Let me list that out. All right. So that is the Marksman MK3, which is 12 tons. And I know that gives I have it written down somewhere. There we go. So the strength will be 17.
That's the max strength you can have on it, yeah.
Yep, and the dex is 21.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And make sure you record the minimums. For what I did was put, if you create the thing, if you open up press the I for the stuff, there's a space at the bottom that you can't really see, but if you click down there, you can put
mods?
Right below mods. If you click,
there's a little box here.
You can put text there. I like to put like the stat things about like the minimum and the maximum of the stat things, just so you have that there as a reminder.
No, it's no, it is 9. It's 9, 17.
You can copy and paste them from the sheet.
X. Yeah, I have it memorized.
Okay,
a little bit.
You have been 15. Going all in on this.
A little bit. Not everything's memorized, but I've been doing my best.
Okay.
And also, I've had to reread multiple things multiple times to make sure that monetarily everything was in order.
Okay.
Next up.
DJ Clark's. You're saying you have lots of random ideas for characters. What ideas you got, DJ? DJ Clark, hit me with them. Noel Main says, there's lots of tech such as firearms, computers, devices for communication, this kind of stuff. Magic is basically the source of the tech because it ain't that traditional magic. Ooh, that's kind of like my world. That's kind of like this world, the world of Sage.
Let's see. Computation internals Mark III is 15, 21 intelligence. Wisdom is 17, I think. Yes.
Is it
7?
Well, normally they're 4 apart between the.
I'm gonna have to relook at that one in a second, but
okay.
I think charisma is just 1 and that. But let me look again.
Let's scroll up.
Computation Mark.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow. The computers are the very wide difference.
Yeah. I noticed that. It's very interesting. They definitely it solves a core issue of having to go mad for certain.
Mm-hmm. That lets you specialize.
Yeah, very, very much so. Right, so
a male human, a female goblin, a male kitsune, a female minotaur, a male harpy, and a female werewolf. Ooh, werewolf sounds fun.
I do like the werewolf.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably do werewolf kind of like how Matt Mercer does werewolves for Critical Role. instead of having the whole you transform and you essentially become immune to non-magical damage, you just get resistance and advantage on strength things, and you can only do it a set number of times per rest, and you gain a claw attack. But that would probably be how I would do a werewolf, which would be interesting. Okay.
I wouldn't know where else to put that, so that's going there. The 15 energy points and 3 energy point regen.
I normally like to put the EP and the EP regen as class resources up here to keep track of. So that way, as you use EP, you decrease from the EP that you have your total EP.
Total is 15. Is that correct? It goes there, total, and then...
Oh, I didn't even see you could select the total thing at the top there.
Yeah.
Then you put 15 as your current. And then you put and then you click click the bottom, you can change the name of it and put EP.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Energy points. I could barely tell that was something I could click on.
I know, right? It is so silly. Also, I don't know if you intended for the 100 GP to be there, but it calculates weight for coins. So if you wanted to
yeah, we don't need to have that there.
Okay, I would say if you want, because it's credits, I'm not calculating weight for coins. If you ever put coins on your character sheet, just put a decimal point in front of the coins, because then it just turns it turns the weight into, instead of 0.01, it turns it into 0.00, and because it doesn't track that low or whatever.
That makes sense. Night. Hey. If I had enough for this, at least, to give myself some nice fancy dark vision.
Ooh.
I know there must be somewhere here. A senses section. Oh, no. Here?
I would probably put it in proficiencies. Just put like you have dark vision, and then put the range. Yeah.
Dark vision. Oh. 600 feet. Okay.
That's a long feat.
It is a long feat. It's weird that it's almost weird to me that that's the cheapest one, but I think that's because it's what is it? The rule here is everything's times 10.
Right, so that's 60 feet.
So that's normal.
Yeah. I mean, it's still expensive. It was like 3,500, wasn't it?
Yeah. I had to do a lot of calculation.
Yeah.
A lot of math.
Yep.
But again, it's like I'm using a giant, mostly the 25K for this also.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can put that in the Night Eye helm. You can put in the description that it gives dark vision.
Oh yeah. Mass production legs.
The mass production legs give so much weight capacity.
They do. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Nice good old standard.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm right. Yeah. Not much else though, but still good.
Yeah. And I mean it's the base 30 feet, 300 feet. Though it's really funny if you think about if you face non-mech scale targets, like all your stuff is multiplied by 10, all their damage to you is divided by 10. You all are like 4 engines of destruction.
This is very true. All right, so mass production legs.
Because with your 33
Body
HP, that's
parts.
the equivalent of like 330 HP. That's like
Oh, wait.
CR25.
Can I please click the thank you? Middleweight body is 165 tons.
I put that in there to have an option that doesn't do any EP regen, but also has good con.
We're gonna figure out
What's up?
the encumbrance real quick.
There is no thing. It tracks encumbrance by strength, and you either have it all on or all off when it comes to weight tracking, but it doesn't change anything on your character sheet having the encumbrance set to over encumbered.
That's good. That's one problem I have with other things is that they tend to have that.
Yeah.
All right, and then this is
It uses simple encumbrance for calculation.
+0 EP. Done.
It's funny that middleweight body was actually V's idea. I originally didn't have a middleweight body, and V's like, most players generally want to have, for most conservative players, they're going to want to have an option that's going to give them up to con 14. So it might be a good idea to have a middleweight option that's just more expensive but doesn't have any EP penalty.
Very true. All right, so 36. Now for the armor and weapons, we have. Oh wait, I don't need to do that. Go away.
So you got your legs, your helm, generator, internals.
Yep. Got all of that. All right, I need now more setted leather.
Oh,
there we go.
Hold on. The thing doesn't set your dexterity to that stat. That means that's the max you can get. It's based on your pilot skills. I just scrolled up to look at your character stuff.
What's up?
So the arms part and the compute and the computation internals and the cockpit.
Yep.
That number of 917 or 1521, it doesn't set your dex to 21. It's based on your pilot stats. That's why we copied them over. So your pilot, so if you have a dex of over 21, it doesn't do anything, or if you have a strength of over 17, it doesn't do anything, but that's the max it pulls from your pilot. That's why we copied the pilot sheet.
Okay. That's fine then.
Yeah, so it's a thing where
I change it back.
Yeah, the minimum score is if you have below that score, you get disadvantage for anything related to that stat while you have that part equipped, and if you have above that score, you don't. It doesn't benefit you at all.
I misinterpreted that then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's all good. We all learning.
Yep. I'm glad I noticed that now. We didn't get to because that would have been really frustrating to have happen in the middle of the first of the session.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So basically, it's my stats are just as normal in a way, or actually, well, my what is it? My
your stats are essentially
yeah, they're essentially the same.
Yes.
Because my dex is lower than 21.
Mm-hmm.
So I would use that instead.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And your strength.
All as well.
Yes. It's the same thing for the body part and for the computer.
All right. I think I fixed those ones as well as I was doing this.
Yep,
we're fine. We're good. Okay.
Cool.
All well and good in the future.
Good.
All right. Studded leather armor is actually the Corvette. Steel Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
That got auto added. All right. Now for 2 centimeters that are hopefully in there.
You can choose I know it's not exactly thematic or equivalent, but you can choose one of the other ones because we also are doing the whole acid, thunder, or acid, lightning, all of those other ones as well that cause the additional status effects.
Consider it.
Okay.
But I don't know if any of those make sense.
Okay.
But yes, this would be the scimitar, mecha, and scimitar beam.
Gate resident. That's really cool, Noel Main. I was reading Noel Main's comment.
All good.
About the game world they're making with their RPG group.
Very nice.
Uh,
I can always fill out the details of those later, honestly, but
Mhm.
just them being there is fine enough for me.
Yep.
And then these next two, the last two things, added myself.
Mm-hmm.
And a mecha.
Sorry, I didn't mean to move that. I was just looking.
I have that here as being 22 tons.
Yep, he's a heavy
Is an
one.
attack. I'll have to mess with that up here.
Mm-hmm.
This Dex.
Mhm.
Very Dex-based character. Even in the tankier version, Panzer later on, Dex is more important than strength.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? What am I supposed to be looking? Oh, I'm not looking at the wrong stuff.
Did you can you send me a link to the doc you're working off of? I would love to show that to chat. To
Oh, the Google Doc? I already did. It's
Wait.
it's in DMs.
It's in DMs? Oh, okay. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I'd have to.
Are you okay with me showing it to chat?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's nothing like personal in it.
Okay.
One hopes. But I'm pretty sure now.
Mm-hmm,
All right. Let's see. Dex plus nothing. Is 1d10
Interesting.
Dex. Range 600, 2400. I will deal with the rest of whatever that entails later.
Okay.
That's not. It didn't save, huh? Damn you, stop. X.
Oh, you rolled an attack with your cannon, already shooting.
I did, but it didn't save. I don't know how to save it.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, there we go. I was saving my editing. Okay. So you're showing your chat right now, the thing?
I was showing it to them, yeah. And
Yeah, I can explain my thought process here.
Okay, sure, let's go for it.
Yeah. So the way I build characters is I try to figure out as much as possible early on that's important. So the top here is just your basic what is on a character sheet, character name, which I didn't fill out here because it didn't matter. Class level, blah, blah, blah. That's all your basic stuff. And this is like any character sheet I'd have this sort of thing. I'll have to fix this on the side now that I know how the rules work, but I had the 3 separate stat blocks for each of the variants, which I don't think is important anymore. But I'm not going to delete it now. And as things change, as I figure stuff out, I change wherever it's relevant earlier on in the document. So ability scores, saves, lower down, there's the skills. At the top of the skills, I just list where I'm getting whatever skills from to figure out, okay, what do I actually want to utilize my skills for? Type of thing. Especially for like the class, just keeping them there as a reference to visualize so I can compare and contrast stuff.
So for the Arcana, do you get the one, what was it, replacing Arcana with technology, I believe it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Arcana for technology, okay.
I have that noted in my thing as well. it's there, but I'll have to I'll add it on to the character sheet side at some point.
Okay. Well, so the reason why I'm keeping them separate is because magic does exist in this world. It's just it's the mages have it, and so I wanted to have that option where like a character could be someone from the mage cities that is snuck down to the surface for some reason.
Oh, interesting. I might change that out then, because it's the variant human skill that's coming from, so I could change that for something else to be more thematic.
Yeah, so Silva's character is well, I don't know, like I'm not a big fan of like keeping too many secrets between players, but like it's a thing that your player knows but your character probably doesn't know, and it's that Silva's character is snuck down from the mage cities and is undercover.
Oh, all right.
So I don't know if you want your character to be versed in Arcana. Maybe talk with Silva and say maybe the two of you are snuck down together.
Nah.
Okay.
I'll probably change it.
Okay.
Knowing that, because I got it because of the technology part.
Okay.
Might just change it to technology or machinery, one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Any Uzis. Further down, we get into the ability scores.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not the ability scores. The different abilities I get from first the race, which is usually the simplest, especially here. The class, kind of just not the fully fleshed everything I'm getting, just like simplified version, so I can have a visual like, okay, this is what I've got going on to compare and contrast to, blah blah blah. Background as well, and then I didn't write down the feat that I'm getting. But it's Warcaster.
You mentioned that up here in the race, Executor of War.
Yeah. Yes. I noticed. Well, so I am at some point going to be renaming the things to be more in line with the theming of everything. Like Executor of War was just because Executor is translation. Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Eventually I'll get dual wielder also, because other than Panzer's a special case of if I really have to heavily in the far future, if I really have to heavily rely on being ranged all the time, dual wielder will be useful to me. I didn't tell you, Schneider's gonna be gonna switch from scimitars to rapiers, because I've noticed Schneider literally just does charge attacks that are all piercing. Yeah. I could have also done lances, but those are not finesse. So there we go. There's the logic. Anyways, now the real meat of this Google Doc, honestly, of like organizing my thoughts, is the equipment. Is where I've been losing my mind slowly. All the calculations I've done. So you could just go all the way kind of to the bottom where I have organized, all right, what do I, even further.
Oh.
Way down.
Equipment.
Yeah. Okay, so that I have organized what Zero has and what Jaeger has. And that's been updating over time. But to figure that out, even because that's a recent addition to my thoughts. And then the pilot's getting background stuff that's going to be flavor changed. So starting equipment, things are italicized as I remove them from my thought process of needing to worry about them. That part of the thought process.
Okay.
So Corvette Steel MK1. I had listed somewhere and then eventually sold it anyway. The longbow got replaced by the cannon mecha, according to the rules of everything. Martial weapons are scimitars. The light crossbow I just had be sold so that I could get other things. I don't know what you wanted to do with the pack.
I was gonna say just take the credit equivalent of the pack.
Cool. I will figure that out later.
unless like you could like there are some mech scale supplies or things that you could have that you could substitute in there.
I think I'm gonna need all the money I can get for all the ammunition.
Oh, okay.
But so then I copy pasted from whatever you sent me all of the resources that are at my disposal. Here, the first one, the mecha operations 5,000. I have 2,200 left over from elsewhere that we'll get to. My top picks are cartridges for whatever reasons. Oh,
yeah.
Cannon, Gatling gun. Because those are actually technically right now the only ranged weapons that either of them have. Because I was going to originally have the base Liger Zero have the Gatling gun beam, but it was too expensive for everything I was trying to figure out. Pilot armor, weapons, and gears, I'm still trying to figure that out. But it is that everything here other than the cartridges, because I want to make sure I finalize how many cartridges I have before I put it on there. Those are already on the character sheet.
Okay.
And now here, I originally had just organized, all right, what can I afford so I can organize everything of what I'm doing here. And then eventually I said, fuck it, and this is all carrying over to down here to my math.
Okay.
25,000 plus the 5,000 from the carryover, plus I went with the cheapest light crossbow. That gets me my total. Ignore that number, that's outdated. And then all the things that I bought.
Okay.
Well, equals, yay.
I was going to say, now that you know what you know about the limitations of the arm parts being...
the arm, body, and the other one?
Yeah.
I could refigure that out. I'm not going to bother right now.
Okay.
But, yes. I will keep that in mind to give myself some more funds that I could lower the mark of the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is this Google sheet. That was me organizing my thoughts. Totally maddening.
And this is all like chat. One of the things is that what we're planning right now is a one shot that could turn into more later, trying to keep things as close to the base rules as I'm comfortable with while still tweaking things that I think need to be tweaked. But like moving forward, right? I'm already thinking about like there are magic items that increase your strength, right? There are magic items that increase different stats. Possibly having those like combined with body parts, like a body part that doesn't just say the max you can get out of it is a certain thing, but just says your max strength becomes that thing, you know, or your max dex becomes that thing. As like a rare prototype or something you could find in the future. So that could definitely be interesting. Like, because what is it? What's the one for con? Parapet of health?
Oh, that's a different thing. But yes. Yeah, I'm thinking again about like Pathfinder First Edition, where literally there's an item for every single one of those things. Where there is literally an attunement item that there's a +1, +2, +3, or no, more like +2, +4, +6 versions, I think it was, for increasing your stats, which is insane.
Let's see.
Gatling gun. Darn it. I attacked with it again. That's fine.
5E.
Let's see. The Gatling gun mecha is 2D4.
Yeah, something like... Oh, that's only rare. That's funny. So like Amulet of Health sets your con to 19. So then getting like a body part that had a built-in Amulet of Health that moved your con up to 19 when you had it equipped could be interesting. I don't know, just spitballing ideas. You attacked with you're firing your guns.
Targets cone 3.
Yes, the kinetic feature. What do you think of the kinetic feature?
It's interesting. I'm gonna have to mess with it in the actual game itself, but it seems self-explanatory. It's kind of like how chain lightning works.
Real quick, I had a raid. We have a raid from
My goodness.
Champs of the Table. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for following B-Town MC. Welcome to the Star Hunters, where we shoot through the stars, have wonderful adventures, live our dreams, and always stop to enjoy the memes. Hello, Knights of Silver Moon. Hello, everybody. Scrolling back to the chat. I haven't really been paying too much attention to chat because we've been going through all this stuff. I see Noelman was describing more stuff about your RPG earlier. That sounds really interesting with like the different classes and abilities and stuff. Knights of Silver Moon, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're having a great night. So we're working on character creation with D&D 5e, but a homebrew version of it that was developed by someone named V from the YouTube channel. My wife is the MC. I have no relation to them. I just found this stuff and I thought it was really cool, and I've interacted with them and said, hey, can I do some stuff with your homebrew? And so we are working on character creation in the interest of possibly, if we can get everything organized enough and get schedules to align, doing a one-shot to test out the system, and if we all like it, if people like it, we might move forward and do possibly maybe a whole campaign of it if people enjoy it. But we will see how all of that comes together. But thank you all for coming to the stream. Let me see if my shout out is working. I've tried fixing it. See if I can shout out. All right. Champs of the Table. Oh, you were playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, or was that? What were you up to, Champs of the Table? What were you doing on your stream? How are you doing? You were world building? Oh, what was the world? Share, do tell. Making a little swamp biome. Nice. Nice. Alrighty, let's see.
Okay, I think I'm done.
All right. With base Liger 0, you got all your stuff situated?
I think so.
Got your cannon, your Gatling gun, and your dual scimitars.
Mm-hmm. Which are symbolic of the claws, of course.
Yes, the claws.
The claws.
The claw. Yes. And, all right. So, how much of this stuff is going to change in the Jaeger form? I'm sure the legs are changing.
Yes, the legs and the body. In the future, a new helm as well. But actually, that might be possible with some of the changes I'll make due to the new information that I've received. But and the one weapon change. It will be not the no cannon.
No cannon? Okay.
Just 2 Gatling guns.
2 Gatling guns.
One is thematically, and I know this usually doesn't matter for D&D. One is on the cheeks of Jaeger, and one's on the tail. So the tail one's more versatile into where it can aim, but the cheek one, right there, front and center.
Hello, country girl. Good to see you.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
And the Gilbertson.
Yes.
There.
Yes. Alrighty. So let's copy the base form, since there's not a whole lot changing, and we'll just make the changes. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Gilbertson is country girl.
Oh.
I very much appreciate the people who watch me on both. I know most of my viewers watch me on YouTube, but because I'm affiliate, I actually get a few cents whenever people watch me on Twitch. So it's always nice when people watch me on both, and I really appreciate that. But I stream on both because I want people to be able to watch me wherever they're comfortable, wherever they have fun, and wherever they want to watch me. And for most people, that has been YouTube. So, all right. So let's copy the Liger Zero base form, and we're gonna duplicate it. And now let's put this Jaeger. I wish when I copied it, it would put it in.
There you want.
Yeah, it doesn't copy over the permissions of who can see it and who can edit it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, what up if I took the copy off? I definitely. All right, Violet, you can chat wherever you want. But yeah, let me. I just. There we go, and there we go. Can you see where Jaeger popped up?
I can. There we go.
Yes. So now you can just make the changes.
Okay, so let me see. The changes are, and these are changes that will stay even knowing what we know. It is. I'll change it over here, or in the items first. Where am I? The mass production legs are going to change into the long burn. Ooh. It might still be these. It might end up being something else. I'm not sure yet.
And see, this is one of the things that I like about Roll20 as opposed to something like Foundry. So Foundry is a really cool VTT, but like Foundry, you have to set up the server either on your computer or pay a service to set up the server. With Roll20, you can come in here off stream or whenever and tweak your character sheet. So if you have thoughts and you like wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, you know what, I think I want to change this one thing about my character, you can review your character sheet. But
350.
Violet, I do very much appreciate. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your time, your attention, and your energy. I appreciate all of the people here very much.
Me realizing I'll have to go back and change the HUD of Liger Zero base, but that's fine. I can do that later. But you know, so the legs change from the mass production to the long burn vernier, which is less weight capacity, but more speed. And then the other change, double check my notes here. Going from the middleweight body to the ultra lightweight body.
I'm glad that you get the chance to get stuff done during the stream, Violet. I always encourage people to, like, when the stream's going, like, I've got the lo-fi music going, we've got the creative juices going for most of my streams. Grab something to work on if you want to work on your own projects, whether it be art or writing or game development or sculpting, anything. I always encourage people to create something, because I think it's something important. The act of creation is a special thing for people. Even if you don't share it with other people, even if it never goes anywhere, the act of actually creating something, I think, is good for the soul.
Okay, so +3 EP energy regeneration. The con is less, so that will affect my health.
Yes. Squishy, but you've got a lot more. You want to put
-6. Not from there, but from 27.
Mhm.
There we go. And plus 50 movement to nice speedy 400.
Mm-hmm.
Which is more accurate. I actually need to find. I might send you this as well, but my Liger Zero research document where I was just trying to figure everything out and convert everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, according to my research,
Do you want to put
Jaeger
the...
can go 330 kilometers an hour.
Ooh, that's fast.
Mm-hmm.
I know they buffed it in the anime to make it like supersonic, which is kind of funny. You want to put your EP regen as a resource to track, just so you can keep track up here as a reminder that it's now 6 instead of 3.
Yeah.
So that way you know at the start of each turn you gain 6 EP. So that means you can spend a lot of EP. Like I think your beam scimitar is EP 4. So that means you can, if you have a spare bonus action and you're attacking with your scimitar, you can charge it and get all that EP back next turn.
True. Yeah, very speedy, very slashy.
Mm-hmm.
That's way, buddy. Yeah, I did all that. The last thing is there is no cannon mecha, but another Gatling gun mecha.
Ooh. Dual Gatling guns.
Although I really should. I wonder. We'll see about the finances. I don't think so. But the Gatling gun beam would be also.
Then you don't have to worry about ammo.
Very true. But it is very expensive.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Right. Dex. It's 1d6 piercing dex. And kinetic is no, it's not. It's 2d4.
I was about to say, I think the Gatling gun is.
And its own. I literally have a version here. Actually, wait, why do I need it? I don't need this twice. Technically.
No, you don't. You can just say you have 2 Gatling guns.
Ah. We're fine there. And that's it. That's all the changes, really. It's Jaeger is much faster, a bit squishier, and has a lot more energy shenanigans, which I may figure out how to better utilize in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got, because if you look at some of the EP actions, like some of them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to read that more. 7, you said? Page 7.
I think it was.
No, it was
47. I was like, wait a minute, it's not that early in there. Is it 47?
I think it's 41 actually.
Yeah, 40. I was about to say 47 is the appendix.
There we go.
Yeah, 41. You've got.
But yeah, dodge burst, extended boost, hover flight, which maybe not. Quick dash, softened landing, recharge program slot.
That's one I added because I thought it'd be cool if there was some interactions between your generator and like spell casting.
Yes.
That
sounds good.
So with the recharge slot, once per rest, you could channel your mech's generator into your device to recharge a spent program slot. As a bonus action, you can regain a spent program slot by spending EP equal to 3 times the program slot level.
Yes.
So.
Reading the rest of these. Dodge boost. If you are hit by a melee or a ranged attack, you can use your reaction to expend 10 EP and add a +2 bonus to your mecha's AC against the attack. Oh, that's great, because then I don't have to use shield. Essentially.
Right. It's like a half a shield.
Like half a shield. Extend boost. Take the dash. You can expend 5 to increase your movement by another 200. Oof. It's Zandra again.
Yes. You made Zandra again. Hopefully you'll actually stick with the party a bit more this time.
You know, I have been lately. Well, The next character I'm making for D&D proper, when Zandra is retired, and it's a new campaign, I already made a mute character, a mute spellcaster.
Okay.
As a challenge.
Ooh.
So I will not be involved in any of the planning discussions in-game ever until I thematically unlock telepathy.
Okay.
Which I purposely am not giving them at level 1 because that would defeat the purpose of this being a development of a character. Anyways.
Then
I have many thoughts on that. I might show that off on my own stream at some point.
DJ Clark said that sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'll just read the chat. You just finished another scene. You're close to being done. What was the scene about, DJ Clark? And yes, Nabiru, it does all come down to dice RNG. Squishy or sturdy. If they fail to hit you, you can survive.
Ooh.
But yeah, hover flight. Sorry, didn't mean to.
All good. Hover flight is midair during your turn. You can grant yourself flying speed for every 3 EP you choose to expend. Up to your movement speed or 600 feet, whichever is slower if you end your turn. It's kind of like Featherfall, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mini Featherfall.
Okay. Quick dash, 8 energy to increase your movement by 100. You can do so once, and you can not do so again until your next turn.
Yeah.
Oh, once per turn. Okay.
Yeah, so basically, when you use that, it's no action required. Your movement speed goes up by 100 feet until the end of the turn. So that means if you move and if you dash, it's still an extra 100 feet. If you have any features that let you, if you have any features that let you dash as a bonus action, that's another 100 feet. This is what I meant when I said Jaeger having a whole lot of EP is very thematic because you can do all of these mobility things.
Absolutely agree. And when I was trying to research through video, because I don't know where to legally stream it anymore, but thanks YouTube, noticing that, Jaeger, he really just runs in and slashes and runs more and turns and then runs more and slashes. Yeah. That's his whole movement style. Actually, that's level 2. What kind of I'm already considering what spell later on give them. Transmutation. Could always replace magic missile with that.
You could.
Yeah, that's you don't provoke opportunity attacks, more movement speed, etc., blah. But that would be rad.
Nabiru says mute spellcaster. If you want a fun example, there's Tsukimichi. The MC can't talk to humans, so use up magic text boxes. That's interesting. DJ Clark, you're working on your animation project. Nice. And Nuomain says maximize dodge if you have squishy bones. All right, Violet, we'll see you when you get back. And I mean, your character does have good AC.
Yeah, especially for this low level. Yeah.
And if you get
eventually it will be improved. Eventually it will be improved.
Yes. And you
I'm a fighter. I'll get all the ability score increases.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Oh, and actually, most of the time, it will end up being whenever I get dual wielder, because that gains even more, just a little bit more AC for dual wielding.
Yeah.
That's literally all the time for all of them, except technically Panzer. I still have to figure that out. I've already figured out that, it's going to be very simplified. It's not going to be as many weapons as Panzer has legitimately. It'll be like 2 shoulders of probably homing weapons, or one is homing and one is a different thing. And then whatever it is, quote unquote, carrying, will be the very special gun that's on its back. quote unquote carrying.
I was gonna say
Panzer doesn't use their claws.
right.
It's Panzer.
I had a suggestion actually for Panzer. What if you just use shoulder-mounted weapons and you used your hands to hold a shield, which technically is the extra AC you get?
Oh. Because yeah, now I know complication that I probably won't be able to get the actual like heavy armor. So that would work. Yeah. Technically, 4 shoulders.
Listen.
Technically, that's 2 hips and 2 shoulders. So I'm kidding. That's a future discussion because like I gotta like Panzer will be later. It's gonna be Schneider next.
Yeah.
Probably because thematic.
Yeah. But
I think I'm basically done.
yeah, well, you're done with the mechanical side of it. You're done with You're done with the. You've got super speedy but squishy Jaeger. You've got
Baseline, good old traditional Liger 0.
Yep, I think it's supposed to be.
That I need to change the health. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second. Yeah.
Now that I'm here, need to change the health. Yes.
Yes. And you've got this with your spell casting. And you've got your booming blade, your sword burst.
I still need to adjust a few other things here, but yes.
Yes. Which is good. So now,
Lord.
Okay.
Bit loud.
Alrighty, so let's talk about story stuff.
Yay! I do like story stuff.
Okay.
I have not workshopped any of this, by the way.
Well,
like this build has been exclusively mechanically centric until this point. Now we can flesh it out.
Yeah, I find that answering questions, or like I have a friend, like I talk to Okusen a lot, and Okusen will ask me questions. It's like, well, I don't have the answer, but answering that question helps with defining it, right?
Absolutely. And like I build characters differently each time I build them. Like the mute character literally was like, okay, what nonverbal spells exist, what nonverbal casting options exist, and it became readily apparent that sorcerer was the answer. But then I attached warlock on top of it, so I could have yet again another booming blade build. They're not using swords this time. It's fine. Anyways.
All right, so you have mechanical hanger attached to cargo transport for CAS.
Ooh, I'll have to have a friend piloting that.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. Action. Enter. Action to enter. Ending. Use movement. And I'm going to say that see, that brings up the question, like, okay, obviously spent spell slots are still spent, right? Or program slots are still spent. Then the other question becomes HP, because your constitution modifier changes.
Right.
So
isn't it wouldn't it be separated of like I mean, either way, depending on which mode is the Liger, if it hits 0, that doesn't mean that I can just summon the other one. It is at 0.
Right.
Even if I myself am not at 0, or maybe I'm unconscious, who knows?
So we're using separate mech and pilot hit points.
Not as much.
So how that's going to work, your pilot has hit points, your mech has hit points. When your mech hits 0 hit points, that means the reactor is going critical, the mech is damaged. And your death saving throws is you trying to stabilize the reactor.
That makes sense.
And there's a whole thing with the status of that. Now, there is two things to remember when you're in your mech. Critical hits, when your mech gets critically hit, because of the force of the hit, half of the damage of the hit is dealt to the pilot. Now, this is not multiplied by 10 because it is still being filtered through the mech, right? So,
makes sense.
So if you get critically hit, half the damage is dealt to the pilot. The mech cannot take poison damage, but the pilot does. So the poison seeps through the mech and damages the pilot.
Okay.
So that can be dangerous if you're in a place with poison, like a swamp or something. And that's something your pilot would be aware of. I'm working on a design for a simple magic item that people could have access to that would like be like an environmental shielding or something that would like give them that players could buy that would like give them resistance or immunity to poison, as it like was reinforcing the stuff to keep the poison from leaking through. But yeah, so that is how poison damage works. So those are the two big things to remember. And there was...
Can you hear anything in the background?
No, I do not. Why? Is something up?
No. All good.
Okay. We are using my... I don't know if you saw it. I put an optional rule up where scrap is required for doing repairs, where you need raw materials for doing repairs. Scrap is something you find from downed mechs as you fight them. I'll say you can also find them from the monsters, from the toms, based on their constitution score.
Okay.
Whenever you do a field repair, a short rest, you use up 1 ton of scrap for every 10 HP you regain from the short rest. If you don't have it, then you can't regain the HP. Because the mech's not going to grow back, it takes materials to repair. And then that carries over with my scrap required rule. Whenever you do hangar repairs, it's still going to be the 1 ton scrap for 10 HP, but if you're at a place with a hangar, like a city or a cargo or a place with supplies with a shop, you can instead substitute credits because you can just buy the raw materials. And it's just going to be 150 credits per ton of scrap that you use for that you're buying. So it's going to be cheaper to just find the scrap because scrap, you sell scrap for 100, but you buy scrap for 150. So it's like there's a weird gap there.
Interesting.
So, but if I roll up here to the scrap, it was... I could have swore it was up here. Did I pass it already? I think the scrap is you get 1 ton of scrap for every Whoops, I accidentally deleted my own rule. Good thing Control Z is a thing. Scrap. Nope, that is not the one I want. Here we go. You get equal to the enemy mech's constitution score, but it's multiplied based on the size, the mech scale size. So a medium enemy is going to give you just 1 ton scrap for every constitution score.
Okay.
A large is going to give you 2 scrap for every 2 tons of scrap for its constitution, so 2 times, and half is going to give you half as much, And then huge is 4 times and 6 times for gargantuan. Though a gargantuan mech scale target is pretty big. Oh, there we go. Come on. Alright, so that is that. But I think so. Anyway, sorry, I tangented.
Understandable.
Use movement to exit. Okay, so story stuff. Mit loud.
I have come up with a name for my friend who pilots the other one.
Okay, who pilots the cargo?
His name is Ray Bomber.
Pilots the cargo. Okay.
Which is a reference.
Mm-hmm.
It's so the character from New Century who who is he's part of the Blitz team, but he was also the strategist and kind of was sidelined a little bit early on. That guy. His name is Jamie Hemeros, but his 2 Zoids names are Terra Bomber, and then it gets replaced by the Reynos later on.
Nice.
I was like, oh, that's a nice name.
Okay.
I did not feel inspired to just come up with something on the spot. Everything has to be a reference. But anyways, yeah, feel free to ask questions that...
Okay,
you
so,
like.
Let me... Let's get this situated.
Actually, wait, speaking of the scrap thing,
Uh-huh.
if I go all the way into the reference, I was rereading like how BitCloud episode 1, like how that all went down.
Mhm.
He was a he would hunt for scraps during fights.
Yes, he would.
Between Zoids. Yeah. So what skill do you think equates more to that? Would it be machinery?
Let me look at that. Let me look at the reference. I know, so machinery is kind of, well, let me read the descriptions. It would help if I didn't scroll all the way past everything. Here we go. Machinery, your wisdom checks your ability to repair, to use or repair various mechanical facilities, tools, or vehicles, and understand build quality or an efficiency of various machines. Your intelligence technology check measures your ability to use various digital devices, recall information on programs, computer languages, and prototypes. I feel like, because machinery is more hardware, technology is more software.
Right.
So I feel like BitCloud would be more of a machinery.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too.
But so yeah, a machinery person who's like is hunting for scrap. Actually, Silva's character has machinery as well, and is like skilled at making different gizmos and gadgets. Because Silva's character has proficiency with Tinker's tools and makes stuff and like custom makes parts and ammunition for their own weapons.
I could just do sleight of hand.
Ooh. I wasn't trying to say you shouldn't do machinery. I was just saying that could be something your characters have in common.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking sleight of hand just to be like weasel my way into finding scraps.
Yeah, that could be. We'll see. Yeah. Sleight of hand could be interesting from like the kind of pseudo roguish angle. Because he was always getting himself into little troubles.
Oh, or maybe, you know what? Maybe stealth's better, actually.
Ooh, he was always stealthy.
All right, we're gonna go with stealth.
Okay.
That is the extra little little bit.
Okay. Nabiru says, I mean, you are a dream eater of knowledge, so you have a vast library of memes and references. Why would you need to make something new?
Yes. Oh, you know what? Survival makes sense also. Resource gathering. Health too. Okay. I'm happy with that. Because Arcana on its own just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Why is this? Oh, I know what's wrong. Okay. I'm trying to like keep things organized in here, and the automated list thing is not doing what I want it to. There we go. I had to like rearrange and cut and paste. Okay.
Wait, can you rename? Wait.
What's up?
I don't remember. Is that the name of it in the show? I might be having a fever dream.
What's up?
Name it the Escargo.
I don't think it's called the hover cargo in the show, but
it should have been called the Escargo. It's a goddamn snail.
Sure, it is the escargo.
Yippee!
Yes, I'll find stats for a ship, and I'm thinking it'll be like, since it's got to house your mech, it's got to be at least large.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be like a large or huge thing that just houses all your stuff, and it'll be your little mobile base. Okay. Yes, Violet is absolutely correct. That is gold, Hatty. The escargo.
I have many banger hits, as they say.
Okay. So, you have the mechanical hangar attached to a cargo transport. Let's talk about your character. So you've read the lore document. It's 1,000 after magic. There's been this uneasy peace, if you can call it that, for the last 300 years, where none of the nations or tribes of the surface are technically at war with each other, but there's all kinds of border skirmishes and pirates and raiders and bandits and people trying to take advantage of the situation, and everyone is trying to survive the toms, the techno-organic monstrosities that are being sent down by the flying cities, who are essentially like space colonies. BitCloud was a roguish thief that was sneaking around and getting stealing scrap from battlefields. Is that what MitLoud is?
Let's just do it. That sounds about right.
Okay, so from battlefields. Okay. Sneaky, roguish person who is sneaking around and stealing scrap from battlefields. And
chances upon an odd-shaped mecha. Unlike any seen before.
Ooh, that was my next question. How do you want Zoids to fit in this universe?
So, that's an interesting.
So, the default is for humanoid mechs. And since you were adding Zoids, I was like, well, why don't I make the town guards like command wolves and make that thing? But that's not set in stone. So, if you want to say your Liger Zero is
Like a unique Zoid, like there's no other Zoids. That would be fun.
That everything else is humanoid, and your Liger Zero is the first animal-based mech. Maybe people think it's a Tom, but it's not organic. It's something different.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Okay.
Because like that gives it the unique edge as well.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like anything. Ba 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 ba. It also means I'm not making an entire faction of Zoids again.
Yes.
For the third campaign in a row.
Always be all Zoids. All the time.
Only Zoid in existence. Okay. So only Zoid in existence. And the reason why you only have the Jaeger armor is because that's the first one you've built. So it's kind of a thing where like how Tauros like invented them in the anime, where like instead of all of them being invented at once, it's you're designing the new, like it's got a variable structure. It takes mostly like mech parts, but it's got a variable structure that can be changed. Ooh.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have a thought, because I was trying to think, what would make it different? What makes it different than just another humanoid mech? And what if that's what makes it different? Is that its parts can be changed in mid battle?
Ooh, yes.
And that could go. I would say that could go in a different direction as well, and say that like if we took that, because you remember Liger Zero like purged armor in the anime multiple times, right?
Right.
So if we took that like a step further and said something like maybe Liger Zero can change equipment freely, like if you want to like drop a weapon or something, or pick up a weapon, like if you see a sword or something and you want to pick it up in your mouth, you no longer have the scimitar in that hand, but you have the sword. So then you just got Liger Zero wielding a sword in its mouth.
Oh my god, I could be like the wolf from Dark Souls.
Yes.
Hey.
So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so that could be cool. It's like that's what makes it different, is it's variable. And even if other Zoids get introduced, they don't have that variability, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Nabru had a good point. Mitloud Scrapper could be an artifact hunter. Zoids could be artifacts.
Ooh.
And, like that would be like the potential of later Zoids being introduced. It's like others are finding these artifacts in other places.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Brainwave. Had a brainwave.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a common thing in a lot of Zoids media is that like Zoids are like ancient or left over from like an ancient civilization or something. That's one thing that happens in a lot of like anime stuff, right? And what if it's a thing where mechs have been around for over 300 years? They've been around for like 400 years.
Right.
And over 400 years of research and development, not every company is going to still be around 400 years later. Not every...
Ooh. Actually, you know what? Withering Waves. I don't play that one very much out of the gacha games that exist, but I did try it out. They had a similar plot line in regards to that, but in a good way, where I don't remember it. But like an abandoned research facility, no one knows what's in it because it's been sealed off for so long.
Mm-hmm. And because people have... And also, after the Toms started attacking, it was a thing where people realized the Toms were drawn to large concentrations of people. So these large, gleaming cities that had been built up most of them became slowly abandoned. There is still one or two little heavily defended cities that still exist, but most everybody abandoned the cities to move out into the countryside. and to live in small villages spread throughout the wilderness, connected only by wireless internet. Just don't ask how they're maintaining the wireless internet because I'm not answering. But not every company is going to survive. So maybe the Zoids were a design from a company that didn't survive. So but that company had like different branches or something in different places. So it is an ancient design, right? But it was ahead of its time to the point that now it's modern. But maybe it was expensive to maintain back then, but with modern stuff, it's just as easy to maintain as everything else. So you don't like...
Mayhap.
Because I don't like saddling players up with like additional restrictions and being like, you can't do this thing, or this XYZ thing is harder for you than everyone else because of plot reasons. So I like to empower my players and say, what can you do and what will you do with that power? Okay. So let's do... Okay. You know, you're on a roll with naming things. What do you want to name the ancient company that produced Zoids that went out of business? This is related to your character, so.
What do I want to the thing? All right. What are those called? Century downsize.
Century downsize.
So century like 100, and then downsize, like downsizing.
Okay.
You want to know why I came up with it?
I very much want to know.
I found an anagram generator and I typed Zoid's new century. And it was the first result.
Why does that work? Oh, that is great.
You can add a corporation to the end of it or something to make it sound more official. But yeah.
And it shortens to CD Corp.
Yeah, CD Corp.
Okay.
You probably had some really terrible advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the jingles now.
Yes.
The downsize of a century. Come to Century Downsize outlets now.
Are you tired of mechs being too tall to fit in the garage? Our mechs aren't as tall, but they're just as capable. Come get a four-legged mech today.
Century Downsize.
Yes. Yes. Out of their time. They had facilities all over Sage. And you could say that, like, you can use modern parts on it because you've used your machinery skill and your mechanics hanger to modify it to use modern parts.
I think I will end up getting this.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought you decided. I didn't know that was still up in the air. Yeah, you were talking about getting stealth. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
But no, machinery is where I run into my good old buddy Ray Bomber.
Mm-hmm.
And rope him into all this. Like, yo, check out this cool mech I found.
Ooh,
He's gonna be like, what the fuck is that?
Also, or you get the stealth skill, right? Because Mitloud's the sneaky, roguish one who's always getting into trouble and finding stuff, right?
Yes.
But Ray, who manages the cargo, is the one with the machinery skill.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray is your technician and your mechanic. So you bring Ray this mech, and Ray's like, I have to make this thing work with modern parts.
Yippee! Thanks, Ray.
What Nabaru say? Unlike other companies, we at the CD Corp won't cheat. You trust us. But sounds like CD and the narrator has a creepy, sleazy voice.
Yes.
So far is the high Jaeger mode. Okay. So, sneaky roguish person who's sneaking around stealing scrap from battlefields chances upon an odd-shaped mecha that is unlike anything anyone has ever seen. Zoids were the product of an ancient company called Century Downsized Corp, or CD Corp. That went out of business. Their mechs are based on animals and were ahead of their time, and they went out of business. They had facilities all over Sage, which is that was not the button I wanted. Why is this not going further? Okay, whatever. Okay. CD Corp. Okay. Can find parts and of other Zoids in ruins of CD Corp facilities. Okay. All right. So we have the basic stuff about your character. We have this basic stuff about Ray Bomber. Was dragged into Mitt's
bullshit.
Shenanigans. Machinery specialist who's dragged into Mitt's shenanigans. Okay. So, now, the main premise of the one-shot is going to be that you all are here responding to a call that Swordbreak put out. The Swordbreak is the town. Their mayor put out a ad for a job. There are caravans of cargo and supplies that have been coming, and different traders and stuff that have been coming to Swordbreak have been getting attacked by something that is mech scale. The people don't stick around to identify, they just run when the attacks start happening. Because of how frequently it's happening, people are thinking it must be toms and there must be a nest of toms nearby, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some people have questions because the traders and people in the caravan take precautions to prevent toms from finding them, namely traveling with small numbers of people and a lot of automated stuff, because they know the toms are drawn to people. So the toms should not have been drawn to like 3 to 5 people traveling in this caravan, but they were. Also, when toms eat something, because the toms eat flesh, they eat organic matter, they eat metal. They are very messy. They normally leave scraps and remains and messes all around. When the people came back after the attack to see what they could recover, there was nothing left of the cargo on the caravans. So then people are like, well, what if it's bandits? Well, the thing is, these caravans weren't really transporting anything very valuable that would be worth stealing. So people are like, well, why would it be bandits going through the trouble to hit all of these caravans and steal this relatively worthless cargo? It's a mystery. The players have been hired to figure out what's going on and to deal with these attacks.
Okay. Yes.
So they're gonna be uncovering the mystery, exploring the area. So that's the basic premise of the one shot. Where it goes from there, if we do more stuff, we'll figure more of that stuff out, right?
Yeah. I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, one thing also, if you go to the settings on your character sheets, as you noticed, it's rolling with advantage when it does those rolls. For whatever reason, when you create a new character or NPC or anything in Roll20, it defaults them to rolling with advantage, and I don't know why. But if you go to the gear and go to settings on the right by the spells, that's it. That gear.
I clicked some. I clicked the character mancer by mistake.
Oh no!
I don't know what to click.
I don't know how. There should be an X button somewhere.
Everything is fine. Okay.
If you go to on that same page at where the character mancer is, if you scroll to the top, under where it says character sheet PC and it says always roll with advantage, if you click that drop down, you can change it to do choose whether you roll with advantage.
Oh, that here. Okay. Advantage toggle.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, you have to do that on all the character sheets. I meant to do that on the first one before we copied it over, but I forgot.
Fine. That's an easy change.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so that is the basic plot of the one shot, as you all uncovering this mystery of, is it bandits? Is it toms? What's causing this? What's causing this stuff? And you're exploring the wilderness, talking to people, figuring out if there might be more to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is Mitt's angle with this? As a person who's looking for scrap, who's looking for artifacts, right? And looking for ancient relics, why would Mitt take this job?
More money for more parts because he's trying to develop more ways to utilize the Liger.
Okay. So he's money motivated.
Money motivated, yes.
Okay.
More money. More things. This is kind of interesting. Like, I had the thought in my head of what the Elseworld scenario of whatever we plan.
Mm-hmm.
The caravan can just have DS cargo sailing behind it.
Because
what? It would be like one more automated vehicle. Hey, actually, you know what? Ooh. I'm gonna save that for the actual section. I'm not gonna spill my idea.
Oh. Money to build.
But they were money motivated from the start. But like finding the Liger,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, this thing is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bet that I could get so many jobs with this.
Mm-hmm. Could do so many things.
Can do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to fix it up.
Which then takes me to my next question. In Zoids, the Zoids themselves are semi-sentient or are aware to a certain degree, and you.
The Liger is for sure too.
Right, that was my question. Do you want to say that that's part of the selling point that CD was selling? CD Corp was selling with the Zoids was that the Zoids have some level of like an advanced AI or something that makes them that makes them self-aware. So then there's a possibility if you find an old CD Corp facility, there might be old Zoids wandering around the facility.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah. That.
Okay. Okay. Actually, ooh, I had a thought. Okay. So, CD Corp is like, let's build more capable mechs that are shaped like animals and have basic processing and independent stuff with like at least an animal level of intelligence, right? And they're like, people love animals. People are going to love our mechs, right? And so that's their big selling point. They expand, they pushing the research, they're building advanced prototypes, all that stuff. And then the Toms descend, right? Toms are these techno-organic monstrosities, and people all of a sudden start associating animal-shaped mech scale things with the destruction caused by the Toms. And CD Corp is like, well, no, we're different from the Toms. We predate the Toms. We are not related to the Toms. And then there's bad press, some company, some rival company probably like does a smear campaign, spreads rumors, and then they went out of business because they couldn't clear, they got canceled.
That makes sense. Yeah. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Bigs. Okay. So then, but I don't want to do a thing where you have to hide your mech. That's what I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a thing where like people are afraid of you or something, or you have to like sneak or that kind of stuff.
We can establish then, maybe, at least in the area where I am now, that I've already worked jobs enough that like, oh, they're used to this one. This one's fine.
Yes.
Like, it might be off-putting for others. For in other towns and other big there aren't big cities, like not too many. You said
Right. There's not too many
like
big cities.
at least in the small community that I've grown accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
They know about it.
Okay. And I'm also gonna say that like society has progressed to the point like it's been 300 years since the Toms started attacking, right? And
right.
like that panic that set in that destroyed CD Corp was when the whole thing with the Toms was fresh. Was fresh in everyone's mind. But by this point, right, it's just become a part of daily life, right? And so people look at your mech and they're like, that's an animal-shaped mech. I see no organic parts, so it's not a Tom. It's a weird-looking mech, and they just accept it. How does that sound?
Mm-hmm. That sounds good, yeah.
Okay. There. Any more? Okay. All right. So, we have a lot of stuff to find here, and I would say it sounds like Mitloud's main goal is to just centered around the Liger Zero about getting additional parts and equipment to enhance the Liger Zero and make the and just experience, I guess, the thrill-seeking nature. Would that be how you describe it?
Yeah, thrill-seeking nature, and then also like being able to just take on more jobs and get more money. Maybe someday I can retire early. Yeah.
Okay. Wants to get more jobs and retire early. Okay. Well. Last thing. What was it? Did you want to look at
Why'd your hands do that?
Oh, I was typing. I have the things for my model keyed to my numbers. So that was 5. I typed D&D 5e. Trying to find, where is it? Oh, here it is. Class details. I was trying to see because I know that there's like questions and stuff. Here we go.
The optimization.
Martial archetypes, class features. Where is, you know, the thing where it's like on your character sheet, if you look at it, personality traits, ideals, bonds,
that
flaws.
Thing from backgrounds.
Oh, is that from backgrounds?
Yeah.
I thought it was from class. That's why I'm not finding it. You're the Outlander, right?
Yep.
And why did you pick the Outlander?
The skills were better. Although, Urchin would make sense too. But Outlander, I think, makes sense because they're out in the land getting scraps. I would need to change around those items, I think, but.
You grew up in the wild, far from civilization, away from the comforts of town and technology. Okay. Yeah, that definitely, with the survival and the athletics, the Outlander, because that's what you got, right? Outlander?
Yeah.
So you're a nomad. Yeah, that works. That works great.
Yeah, my only friend is Ray.
Your only friend is Ray and Liger Zero.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a
friend.
yes. We do.
Oh god, the number 2 there is perfect. It's the flaw. There's no room for caution
in a life lived to the fullest. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so it's normally pick 2 personality traits, 1 ideal. I think it's like 1 bond and 1 flaw.
Yeah.
So would your bond be?
All these are bad.
Yeah, we'll just come up with our own bond then. Your bond is the thing that you care about. So I guess your bond would be Liger Zero. You care.
Liger Zero. Yeah, Liger Zero and Ray are the only important things in my life.
Yes. Getting more parts and things to enhance Liger Zero and to keep Ray happy enough to not abandon you in all of your shenanigans.
Yes.
So that would be a bond.
In the background, I'm writing a fan fiction. This will not happen on the streams. I don't care to flesh that out.
All right.
Damn it, I've yet again created a love interest out of... I've done this before. In Pathfinder First Edition, there's a class called Summoner.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote an entire backstory where basically her summoned Eidolon is the reincarnation of her dead husband, who's had their memories erased. And so the entire plotline of the campaign for her was like discovering, oh, wait, you were my husband. And the more memories the dude gets, or the Eidolon got, the more powerful they got. But also, it kind of caused him pain as well. It's very...
See, Violet. Yeah, good night. Thanks for coming. It was really great having you.
Yes, good to meet you. Yes.
Yes, it's great to have you. Okay. So would the love interest be Ray?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
All right, it's gotta be either chaotic or good, because I'm chaotic good.
For the ideals, life is like the seasons in constant change. We must change with it, or it's each person's responsibility to make the most happiness for everybody.
I realize that Outlander does not mean what I think it means sometimes. A reword, the greater good one.
Okay.
It is each person's responsibility to make the most happiness for themselves.
Okay. I like it. All right.
And that first one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, driven by wanderlust that led you away from home. Normally you get 2 personality traits. So let's see what the other ones are. I like number 4. I have a lesson for every situation drawn from observing nature.
I'm going to say observing everything, but yes.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, number 6 is funny.
I'm always picking things up, yes.
I'm always picking things up, absently fiddling with them, and sometimes accidentally break them. That could be part of the thing where, like, he's like like sticky fingers will like steal things or like find things, or it's very good at finding things out in the remains of battlefields and stuff, right? And finding all the scraps, and then brings them back to Ray to fix up so they can sell or use, right? But then so many times while Ray is working on one part, right, Mitt will get bored and pick up another part and start fidgeting with it that might be, and then re-break it.
Yay, that's perfect. That's good.
So it's like when you get bored, you just start picking things up, and then sometimes you just like flip a thing and you break a lever or break a sprocket or spring.
The only reason the Liger Zero doesn't break by my hands is that it is somewhat sentient and it stops me from doing so.
Yes.
I would not be able to pilot any other mech because it would require me to be able to do it.
It requires you to be able to be in a mech without breaking it.
Exactly. That's great. That's a good running gag.
Okay.
Remembering something. I think as long as you don't roll a nat 1, it will not break.
Oh my gosh,
no.
Speaking of that.
Oh no.
So, Silva is playing a gunslinger, right? And I was like, okay, sure. I'm like,
okay,
sure, whatever. Silva's using the Matt Mercer design for the gunslinger, right? So
right, and again, that comes from Pathfinder First Edition. That's why the misfire stuff even exists.
Yeah. So there's this whole thing where like there's a chance of misfire. I'm like, that's not a thing in this. But I'm like, if I don't, then those things just become free. Well, not free. You still have to spend grit on them. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna treat all the guns as having a misfire of 1, but normally they're so reliable that in normal use that doesn't happen. But since you're doing a trick shot and you're pushing the gun beyond its limits in order to do some kind of a trick shot, it gains a misfire of 1 when you trick shot.
Oh, okay.
So it still has, and the basically if the die comes up with the number that is the misfire rating or less, then no matter what the bonuses are, the shot misses and the gun gets damaged. What I'm doing for Silva is that instead of the gun getting damaged, the gun's going to be treated like you have the deflected property, which is you get a -2 to your rolls, to your attack rolls with it.
Oh, okay.
And then just going to have to do, because I didn't like the gun being completely unusable. That just felt too punishing for the situation where guns are a key part of the thing. So I was like, okay. So it just, something gets knocked out of place if you mess up your trick shot. Rolling a nat 1, or the trick shots add a bonus to the misfire. So like one adds a +1, so it'll be a misfire of 2. The other one adds +2, so it'll be a misfire of 3. So at worst case scenario, if your die says a 3 or less, you miss, and you have a -2 penalty to your future to your rolls till you take an action to fix it.
Ooh.
Okay.
That sounds nice.
Yes. That's my best translation of it.
Very nice.
Very
nice.
It's bored.
Oh, right. That was something I was needing to ask.
What's up?
About some things I never fleshed out because it's more of a world building thing. Languages.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Keep clicking things I don't want to click. What languages exist? Is it all the same usual stuff?
Yes.
Are there? Okay.
All fantasy languages exist, and for lore purposes, we're saying all fantasy languages and all like races exist on this plane, because I was actually fleshing this out with Okusen the other day, because Okusen wants to do like a druid that's involved with stuff, and there's a whole thing where when the gods were fighting to first free the goddess of the sky and to stop the mages from ascending into the realm of the gods space with their flying cities, the gods called on all of their allies. So they called upon they called in favors, they went into debt, they did what they had to do to get help for this battle. So there are people from every plane here that came for this battle. But when the gods lost, the portals that brought them here were shut. So they were stranded here, and over time their magic faded without the power of the gods. So that's my explanation for there being like, you could be any race and all languages are viable because there's somebody who's speaking all of the languages, all of the everyone is here. This is what was it? What's that joke? This is Smash. Everybody's here. But yes.
Yes, I chose to be human.
It is what it is, but so yes, all of the languages are available. I'm not there is one kind of language that I'm thinking of making up and adding to the mix. I was thinking, because something that came up when I was doing my first character creation stream was, what if the automatons, the Warforged, had their own language?
Oh, yeah.
Something like Mechanese or something. And I was thinking that would be cool. That would be a cool thing to add. But beyond that, all of the, like, as far as like all of the other languages are available.
Neat.
Yes. Alrighty, let me. Liger knows how to avoid being broken. Alrighty. I think we've got everything nailed down for this character.
Maybe there's gonna be maybe some minor changes now that whenever I change a couple of the mark things and have some extra funds and see if I can afford other things, but we'll see.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's pretty set in stone, and I can adjust it if I make any major changes.
Yep. And you, what do you, after building a character and reading through the system so much, what are your thoughts about this system?
Very unique system, and in a way also where, so I've seen in the past like Naruto systems and other systems be existing, and they always try to like make up their own rules. And you know, everything fan created in this mind. But I think it's just simpler to just go with bouncing it off of 5e and seeing what happens, and that's what this does, and it does a very good job of it. A lot of its rules are very easy to understand even without the mecha lens. Whereas, like, I don't know, I've seen systems that get very complicated with the myriad of stuff that you can do. It is also still a lot. It is a fairly sized document, but you know, it's not any bigger than like an actual PHP. Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay. Got the.
I would have to play with it though to see like if any of these things, some of these things are fun to play with, you know?
That's hopefully what we're going to do. That is the hope. Gotta nail down some specifics. But we will see what stuff looks like. I'm still tinkering with a lot of stuff myself. DJ Clark Production says you're trying to make your own magic system. Nice.
Ooh.
That's always spicy.
Yes, good luck with that.
Yes. Okay. I think this has been a very productive stream. We've gotten a lot done.
Yes, I think we're all good on that for now.
Yes. Okay. I got a Twitch ad that's running right now. Oh, I pressed snooze when I wanted to press run ad because it was supposed to run in 2 seconds. When I see it's like less than 30 seconds till the ad runs, I'm like, oh, I'll just run the ad now. Right?
I get you.
But then that was where it got kind of silly. Okay. So chat, what did you all think watching this character creation? And we went into more story stuff with this one than we did with Silva's. But what did all of you think of this? Chat.
It was nice. This is good.
I'm glad.
This is good.
I'm glad you all enjoyed it. It seems like you all enjoyed it. We maintained pretty steady. I just checked the numbers. We had pretty steady viewership throughout the whole thing, which I'm glad it entertained people.
It was fun watching Hatty try not to break the game with a Liger build. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think I would like.
It's definitely a stretch of the rules, but it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I would like to customize some of the other weapons to add the shoulder trait and to add some of these traits and to play with some of these traits for some of the stuff, right? So it's not just It's not just the big weapons. Like, what if you just want a little rifle? You know? But
still think I'll have to flavor some things to be able that they'll be on my back, but they technically are what Panzer is focusing their two hands on if they had two hands. That's how I am thinking of it in my brain. Where Panzer's not running up and slashing people.
Right.
That's not Panzer's job. But that's for a later.
Yeah, I was thinking
later time.
I was thinking it might be interesting. This is just me kind of spitballing a little bit, but if there was I talked about Panzer possibly holding a shield to represent the extra armor and stuff. If there was some kind of a version, if we came up with something that was kind of like a tower shield or something that was a shield that took both hands to hold but gave you a base +3 instead of a +2 to your armor class.
Mayhap.
And then maybe gave cover to you or to your allies, so people shooting at you had a -2 to hit you or whatever.
I am also thinking still it would require me, well, I guess I am going to be slightly mad. I don't think I care about intelligence anymore. Intelligence is done. In fact, I might even lessen the intelligence to I might change the ability scores a little bit to fit with some things. But
okay.
The big bit is my brain fried a little tired.
Yeah, we've been at this for a while.
Trying to find a balance where maybe I could I don't need my strength to be very high
Mm-hmm.
But if I wanted to utilize one of the heavier armors for Panzer,
Mm-hmm.
I would need it to be at least 13.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see. But would that be any better than whatever else I would be cooking with just Dex?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I have to think about it. Things to consider.
Yep. All right. So, let's wind down for the night. Thank you for coming and for being on the stream with me, Hatty. I'm glad that this was a successful introduction to, I think it was a successful introduction to the game system and the characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
I'm now going to not look at it so I can turn off my brain from it.
okay. All right. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Hatty Drago VT.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find me on Twitter at Hatty Drago. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to stream more often. Summer is always like the busiest time of the year for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hadn't been seeing me around much. But I plan on streaming more and getting back to finishing Dawn Trail for Final Fantasy XIV.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what else I'll decide to pick up. Maybe I'll play one of the gacha games again on stream. I've been playing Star Rail and ZZZ off stream primarily, and I actually find it to be a more enjoyable experience than streaming it. But I don't know. Like sometimes I react to the story like, "Oh, this has been great content."
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'll be streaming it again soon.
All right.
Maybe tomorrow.
Considering you dragged me kicking and screaming into Honkai Star Rail.
Oh yeah, you wanna chat about that for a little bit? What's up?
Sure. I've been dealing with a lot of fatigue recently. So like I didn't really touch Star Rail last week, but like I got to the point I'm in Penacony, right? And
oh nice, you got all the way there.
Yes. I'm in
Good.
I'm in Penacony. I'm at the part where where you're controlling what's his name? Averine? Aventurine, yeah.
Ooh,
it's like the second or third time you control.
The payoff for his story in general is really good, so I won't say anything.
Yeah, I'm at that.
Aventurine.
I think the one kind of thing that frustrates me slightly is that there is no way for me to get a hold of the trace material for Firefly to unlock her secondary abilities until I get to the 2.3 boss.
Yeah.
So like my entire team is centered around Firefly, but she can't really do anything unless the Harmony MC's ult is live.
Right. That is definitely one thing, and I think it's the only hardcore stopgap that exists for characters in Star Rail is that specifically. A lot of the other stuff, and you probably noticed it, where you could have limited early access to some resource gathering, so that you my advice is just play at your own pace. And yes, it's frustrating you can't get those right away, but actually one way that you can, I think, the synthesizer. The
synthesizer does not make those materials.
Oh, it does not? Oh.
Yeah, I tried that. Oh,
it doesn't convert those.
Yeah.
Genshin had done that. That was how Genshin solved that. But at the same time, don't stress about it too much, because like really having your character at optimum is for when you're fully built and able to like full clear the quote-unquote endgame content, which is Memory of Chaos, Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow.
Well,
which you won't have that last one yet. But Star Rail to me is an enjoyable experience if you take your time with it while building, because you don't have anyone else to judge against in the game except yourself. Not like it's competitive until you get to the Candy Crush minigame later on. That one's competitive.
Yeah, I think part of the frustration for me is Firefly is like one of her abilities gives her built-in super break damage.
Yeah.
And so without that, she can't do super break. So so like it's just like I
didn't you get, there is a way to get Harmony MC early.
Yes, I rely, and that's the thing. I have to rely on Harmony MC. And
that's it. That's actually all that exists otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, so think of it this way. Think of it alternatively. Is that literally, other than that trace, you have everything that exists for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you are all set up good to go until you get to that point where you are able to unlock it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's when I play, I just get so sucked into it, right? It is...
The story's really good.
Yeah,
I think that's... I'm always impressed. I'm impressed by the side stories as well that are even unvoiced. I won't go into it too much, but on the Law Fu, there is an old man that hangs out there. His story quest... Sorry, I should say the main area of the Law Fu, and it's hard to describe where it is. There's currently an event quest right now that's nearby it. But his quest, heartbreaking. So good.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of like side quests. So what I like to do with Honkai Star Rail is I like to do the main story stuff off stream, but do like side quest, companion missions, and stuff on stream. So that so that way it's not a thing where like someone comes in and they're like, "What's going on?" and I have to explain the entire story. Whereas I can just do like, this is just a side quest.
Yeah, you can do your grinding off stream as well. That type of stuff. But yeah, just keep on with the main story. The payoff, I swear, I don't remember if you've seen the final boss or not.
I've seen clips of it.
It's such a good... It's like seeing clips does not equate to like the living experience of playing through that boss. I remember I streamed it, and this is the reason I will no longer be streaming story, like full-on story of Star Rail Ground Zero. It took me 10 hours to get to that goddamn boss, but it still felt so electric going through it.
Yeah.
And that's why like I kind of compare the game to Final Fantasy XIV in a way. It's like a miniature version in some ways. It's not an MMO, obviously. More like it's narrative writing, and it's how it has content updates is very similar to an MMO.
Okay.
But yeah, enjoy the ride. You'll get there. It's fine. No stress.
No stress.
No stress. No stress. Focus on upgrading what you can, which are the attack skill ultimate talent traces. Yeah. Focus on those.
Yeah.
While you're going.
Well, one other thing. I also need to build a second team for the Forgotten Hall.
Yeah. So actually, here's my 2 cents about that. I've been playing since the beginning, right? I'm not free to play, but I am Battle Pass monthly. So I don't whale at all, but I do get funds. I didn't start giving a shit about Forgotten Hall until I felt like I was ready, that I had enough going on. Because I didn't mind building characters slowly, and actually I'm still building a good amount of characters slowly. For a while I was just relying on a good select few, but that's what you do. That's what you do in any of these games. It's like you rely on your primary build until you feel comfortable enough to build more characters. But yeah, Forgotten Hall is a thing. Pure Fiction's another thing that you'll have to do an event quest that exists to unlock pure fiction, but that exists also.
Okay. Yeah, I'm behind on event quests. Just been trying to deal with life stuff.
Life stuff is life. I get you.
Yep.
I do like, and it's that's another thing Star Rail is good at, is that any event quests that are actually important stay in the game. Like they're plot relevant and unlock stuff. They're relevant and they stay. So you'll never miss out on. And actually, the event quest that is relevant for pure fiction wasn't one of those event quests, but they decided to bring it back as that later on.
Okay.
So they have the capability of bringing back any event quest that had existed in the past if it's somehow now relevant towards content they have. It's unique in that regard, even compared to Genshin, where you're never going to be able to play any of the past content ever again.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, poor Meatball. That's a reference. Anyways,
I was watching that stream.
Meatball?
Yes.
Meatball.
Meatball.
Oh. The boat. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. I remember you're like, is this boat's name Meatball? Yeah, exactly, Nabaru. That is nostalgia.
Yeah! Back when I was a Genshin streamer before it pissed me off. Still pisses me off. I was actually playing it a little bit last night. Only to unlock areas. So I could build Risley eventually. Risley is big, buff, punchy, wolf-coated fellow.
Okay.
Fischl's story is great. I do remember. Yeah, that's right. That was Fischl's story. Was that last year? No, that was 2 years ago. Or was it last year? I don't remember.
Time is a flat circle.
Genshin. And we don't talk about Genshin anymore because there's controversies about it. Yay.
Okay. All right. Avoiding that like the plague.
It's a hit or miss thing.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I gotta go.
Yes. It is getting late. Good night. Thank you for coming. I'm going to do my outro.
Yeah. I'll just hop out of here then, but thank you all, and I'm sure we'll schedule whatever time we'll actually play this.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
That's the hope. All right. Have a good one.
You too. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. Okay, chat. Okay. All right. You all played nice. You all were all friendly and very nice with Hatty. And I appreciate all of you being on your best behavior when we had a guest. We had a lot of people come through. It was a very nice night. For those of you who don't know, during my outro, I like to speak words of positivity and hope and love and joy into the lives of my viewers. I like to shout out all the people who said stuff in chat, and I'd like to, because I believe it's important for us to speak goodness and hope and joy into each other's lives. So tonight we had LeMay, Forever, Nabiru, Hatty, Jesus, Nevermord, Gaming Driver, Gaming Driver VT, which I presume is just Gaming Driver on Twitch, and more of Jesus. Noel Main was here. Multi-Star Chick was here. Hope we gave you enough tangents, Multi-Star Chick. DJ Clark. It was great having you, Forever. Kalora was here. Violet was here. And then we had a raid. Thank you for the raid from Champs of the Table. Thank you, Champs of the Table, for the raid. And Knights of Silver Moon and B-Town MC. Thank you for the follows. And Cam Gilbertson, or Country Girl. And I try to keep this stuff as accessible as I can, but I like giant robots, so, you know, what you gonna do? Who else did we have come through tonight? Yeah, all right. So, to all of those people, and to anyone who watched the stream and didn't say anything in chat, any of the lurkers, and to anyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say to all of you, I love all of you. I believe in each and every one of you. You all possess a unique, one-of-a-kind potential to make this world a better place by living in it in your own way. Thank you for coming to my stream, and thank you for being a part of this community. You make not only my life better, but this community better by being here. You matter, you are important, and you are loved. Your hopes and dreams and fears or concerns are valid and worthy of notice. You are worthy of love and deserving of happiness and good things. You are a precious treasure of the human being. And I'm grateful to have you here. Thank you for giving me your time, your energy, and your attention. Always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the memes. One thing I do ask is if you're watching on YouTube, that you like the stream. It helps the algorithm with getting out to more people and helps with growing the community as we get in front of more eyeballs, because I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. But I want you to watch me wherever you're most comfortable, wherever you're happy. Also, if you have any friends or neighbors or aunts or uncles or anyone you think might enjoy my content, coworkers, arch nemesis, friends to lovers, lovers to enemies, anyone you think might enjoy my content, feel free to show them my content and invite them to the next stream. Next stream is going to be Friday, 8:30 p.m. EST. And I cannot wait to see you there. Don't know quite what I'm going to do. Might keep on this GITR roll. Might work on making some NPCs. Don't know. We'll see. Or I might actually get back to my writing streams, or I might do some gaming. Might do some Honkai Star Rail. We'll see. I'll post about it. And that's the other thing. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, you can subscribe on YouTube and ding the notification bell. You can follow me on Twitch. Either of those will let you know when I go live or release any new content. Well, the Twitch won't let you know when I release new content, but the YouTube will. You can follow me on Blue Sky Social, Twitter or X, or like my Facebook page, or join my Discord. Links to all of those are in the description down below on YouTube and the About page on Twitch. And I appreciate having all of you there. One last thing. I always try to make sure I say this every time. You do not have to donate to be here. You're not expected to give money to be a part of this community. I value each and every one of you. Like I said, I value your time, your energy, and your attention. But with that said, I do very much appreciate the people who do donate and who do help make things possible for me that I would not be able to do on my own. Especially as things have been very tumultuous and difficult with my financial situation, I appreciate every little bit of help I can get. If you ever feel motivated to donate to improve the stream and to help me out with things, and it is financially safe and responsible for you to do so, there are links where you can do so down below in the description on YouTube and the donate button on Twitch. On YouTube, there's a link to PayPal where you can do a one-time donation, or Ko-fi where you can do a one-time donation or a monthly donation. If you can do a one-time donation, I do prefer you do it through PayPal because I get more of the money, but do whatever's more comfortable for you. As for the monthly donations on Ko-fi, there's not really any rewards for those right now. It's more of just a way of saying a tangible way of saying you appreciate me and my content. I may put together rewards for that in the future. We'll see where life takes me. The donate button on Twitch takes you to Ko-fi. So With that said, thank you all for coming. And I will see you all on Friday. Let's see who we're going to raid with, because it looks like we have some people watching on Twitch. So let's see about seeing who we're going to pass this off to. Who is live? Let's see who is live on Twitch. Who do I know that's live? Banicula is live. Sweets is live. Might just do Sweets because I haven't done Sweets in a while. Let me see what Sweets doing a collab. Oh, Sweets got a new model. Oh, Sweets is doing a follow-thon. Okay, yeah, we're gonna raid VT Sweets. She is a very good friend of mine and a wonderful content creator. Whoop. So we're gonna raid VT Sweets. Looks like she's been going for a while, so I don't know how much longer she's gonna go. But yeah, thank you all for coming. And have yourselves a wonderful night. Be on your best behavior. Don't have a raid message. But have yourselves a wonderful night.